Welcome to the UK Family Shows, number 3. The first show on the list is Are You Being Served? It is an episode called Diamonds Are a Man's Best Friend.
Ground floor perfumery, stationery and leather goods, wigs and haberdashery, kitchenware and food going up. First floor telephones, gents' ready-made suits, shirts, socks, ties, hats, underwear and shoes going up. Second floor carpets, travel goods and bedding, materials, soft furnishing, restaurant and teas going down.
Brown?
Yes, I know, Captain Peacock, I'm late.
Not good enough, Miss Brahms. You are 15 minutes late. What would happen if everybody else was 15 minutes late?
The store would open at past.
Don't be cheeky, Miss Brahms. Captain Peacock is quite within his rights to dress you down.
Have you an explanation?
Yes, it's Friday, I haven't got any money and I couldn't afford the bus fare. I had to hitchhike.
Then you should have left home earlier.
I did. I stood on a corner and I lifted my skirt and showed a bit of stocking like Marilyn Monroe did in Bristow.
What happened?
Bus crashed. And I had to make a statement.
The same thing happened to me once with a Centurion tank.
Were you trying to stop it, Mrs. Slocum, or were you driving it?
I think Mr. Granger is trying to attract your attention, Captain Peacock.
Captain Peacock, are you free?
Yes, I'm free, Mr. Granger.
I hope you won't mind my mentioning the fact, but I left my purse behind on the wireless in the kitchen this morning.
No, I don't mind you mentioning it at all.
No, well, I was wondering if you could let me have the £1 back which I lent you yesterday.
Of course, Mr. Granger. Oh, dear. I, too, seem to have left my note case in the study on top of the colour television set.
Have you? I seem to remember that you did the same thing last Friday, Stephen.
Yes, Ernest. Yes, it seems I'm getting rather forgetful.
Yes. That's why I reminded you about the £1.
Don't worry, Mr. Granger. Our pay will be down in a moment, and as soon as I can get change for one of my larger notes, you shall have it.
You know, you really should try to make your money last out the week, Miss Brown.
I can't even make it last the weekend.
What do you spend it on?
Clothes.
Clothes?
Yes, clothes so the boys will ask me out to dinner.
Yes, but if you didn't spend it on clothes, you could stay at home and cook something for yourself.
Oh, I can't afford to buy food for myself. It's too expensive.
Yes, but you could afford it if you didn't spend your money on clothes.
Yes, well, if I spent my money on food, I couldn't afford to spend it on the clothes, so the boys would ask me out to dinner.
I just don't understand young people nowadays. I don't understand what you're talking about.
I just like going out, that's all.
My dear girl, I could be wined and dined every night if I wanted to. If it wasn't for that awful wrestling match in the car when you got home. Those roving hands and the sloppy kisses and the fight to get the door open and escape.
Did many of them get away, Mr. Sloan?
Go and check the till, Miss Brown.
Well, so anyway, I couldn't take her home to my place, see, because it was Thursday night, and that's the night my mum does her feet.
Oh, well, I suppose that would take the romance out of it. So what did you do?
Well, I took her back to hers. It was absolute disaster. Her old man came back early and insisted on watching the telly with us. Then her aunt came back, then her mum came home from bingo, and then her sister came downstairs with the baby because it wouldn't stop crying. 3 hours later, her old man asked me what my intentions were. I told him, with all you lot here, nothing at all, so he kicked me out. What did you do?
Well, I had an old friend round to dinner, but it wasn't a very successful evening. I mean, you've got to be in the mood for cooking, haven't you? I got a bit cross and slammed the oven door, and, well, my Yorkshires wouldn't rise. You know, I didn't know which way to turn, which is very unusual for me.
Yeah.
So do you know what
did you do?
I got my rolling pin out, I flattened it all down, I threw a tin of fruit salad on it and served it as a surprise pancake. Made the evening.
Yes, it would. Hello, what's this?
Do you mind? That's a friend of mine.
You left in such a hurry, I forgot to give you the keys to the flat. Thank you for a lovely evening. I'll phone you when I'm free.
What's all that about, then?
Well, we've known each other for ages. We see a lot of each other.
Well, you and that gorgeous thing?
But she's a very good friend of mine.
Look at those legs!
That is a very lovely person.
You're telling me?
And I'll tell you something else. He's much more settled since he's had the operation.
Come in.
You sent for me, Mr. Rumbo?
Oh, yes, Captain Peacock, come in. It's Friday once again.
It is indeed, sir.
Would you be good enough to take round these pay packets?
Yes, sir. Well, that's what all the workers have been waiting for.
I don't know how they manage some of them.
Oh, by Friday morning, half of them are borrowing money for Where's mine?
Oh, some mistaken accounts. They say it'll be through this afternoon. See you for lunch, as usual.
Yeah, no, I'm putting it on a bit round the old town.
Is that about it, Mrs. Slocum?
Perfect, Miss Brahms. There, you see, madam, with the shorter hem and the alterations to the sleeves and a bit taken out of the back and, oh yes, the shoulders adjusted and the buttons moved. It'll fit you like a glove.
Wouldn't it be easier to get one in my size?
But it's an unrepeatable offer.
Yes, it's last year's stock.
That'll do, Miss Brown. If madam would like to go into the fitting room and take it off, we'll get it sent away for alterations.
When will it be back?
Oh, much less than a month. And I'll have the £2 alteration fee put on madam's account.
£2?
Well, it does have to go to Edinburgh, madam. All our alterations go to Edinburgh. I mean, if you have them done in London, you never know who'll be handling the garment, do you?
Very well, then.
Only a woman with your persuasive tongue, Mrs. Slocum, could unload a 44 long onto a 36 short.
Well, we have to get our commission somehow.
The receipt slips are inside as usual.
Yeah, they've taken £4.62 in tax.
And you owe me £1, don't forget.
Well, with all this kneeling we have to do, they ought to give us something for our tights. Look at my knees. Look at them. They're all baggy.
Pull them up, Miss Brahms.
Is that where they end?
Yes. Well, I have to get the long ones on account of the fact I've got big feet.
It might solve your problem, Miss Brown, if you wore braces.
Very funny.
Or alternatively, you could sew suspenders onto your brassiere.
Will that be all, Captain Peacock?
What size is your fiancé, madam? Around the chest, I mean.
He can get into my sweater quite easily.
Who couldn't? What about something like this? You can't go wrong with a fluffy fair isle.
Difficult to say. He's about your build and he's ginger.
Oh. That goes with the fluffy fair isle, all right.
He's got a beard.
How about that?
His eyes are a different colour.
Would it be easier if you brought him in?
Oh, that'd spoil the surprise. And he loves a surprise.
Ah, well, you bring him in then, madam. Mr. Humphreys will find a way of surprising him.
I'll do that. Thank you.
None at all. Good morning, madam.
Mr. Humphreys, Mr. Lucas, you free?
Yes, we're free.
Check these, please. Mr. Granger, are you free?
At the moment, thank you.
Oh, blimey. £11.47p? I'm supposed to get 19 quid a week.
Well, there's probably some deductions. Check your slip.
Tax, £6.12.
Well, you see, the Concorde is expensive. Then there's the coal board and the iron and steel board, the railways, not to mention the upkeep of our stall in the common market. No, you've got yourself a bargain there, if you did but know it.
National Health, £1.21. I haven't been near a doctor in 5 years.
No, well, when you get pregnant, you'll get your maternity grant.
10p for Grace Brothers Social Club. Social Club. A converted scout out on the edge of Romney Marshes. A cracked ping-pong ball and 3 darts with foul vest.
It's worth it for the annual outing alone. Now, where else could you see Captain Peacock in a funny hat and Mrs. Slocum going home K-Lide on the bus?
20p for Grace Brothers Staff Home. Now, that I don't mind. I mean, what a way to end your days. When you're too old to bend down and take an inside leg, you can sit all day in the drizzle in a wheelchair, waiting for that voice to come crying out of the sky, "Are you free, Mr. Lucas?" And 5 minutes later, you've got Granger measuring you up for a pair of wings, telling you they'll ride up with where.
He'll measure you for an asbestos suit.
Here, all right. Here's your alterations. Oh, blimey, is that all they give you? If you want to join a working class, mate, look at that.
Where'd you get all that?
Oh, well, it was a strike, you see. When we come back, we had to do overtime to catch up with the backlog. For the sake of wearing a cardboard collar and calling yourself middle class, you're doing yourself out of order readies.
We do have one advantage.
Oh, yeah? What's that, then?
Take this to the dustbin. Smash.
Capitalist.
Mr. Mesh.
Oh, sorry, Constable. Was I speeding?
Mesh, you are not supposed to appear on this floor after 10 o'clock in your working clothes.
Well, how am I supposed to deliver this lot, then? Starkers?
You will leave it in the staff entrance and attract Mrs. Slocum's attention.
Now, look here. I've been here, man.
Stop arguing, Mr. Mash, and just do as you were told by your superiors.
Well, I bet you didn't get 60 quid in your pay packet this week, did you, eh? Hey, hey?
Oh, I'd like a pair of gloves for my husband. He has such cold hands.
Just over there, madam. Mr. Mesh, do handle those with a little delicacy. They're £44 each.
Well, I'll tell you something. I get more for pushing them about than you do for selling them.
You just can't get the right sort of people for this job nowadays.
Yes, and he's worked here for 35 years.
I've told him in future to attract your attention from the staff entrance.
Thank you, Captain Peacock.
Now, do bring the gloves back if they don't fit, madam, and we'll change them with pleasure.
The fingers do seem a bit long.
Well, don't worry, madam. They'll ride up with wear. Everything does.
What about a nice tie to go with them?
Yes, or a briefcase to keep them in.
Or one of our latest novelties, an automatic umbrella.
You live in the south of France. It hardly ever rains.
They make very good sunshades as well.
Oh, no.
What's the matter, madam?
Oh, the centre stone is gone. Look.
Well, I shouldn't worry, madam. I don't think it'll notice amongst all the others.
Oh, but it was 3 carats, worth over £1,000. And it was so pretty.
They usually are.
Are you sure you had it when you came in? I mean, you sure you didn't leave it trapped in your Rolls Royce?
Oh, well, I did try on a mink at Alistair Solomon's. Perhaps it's there.
Well, I should pop back before Alistair sweeps up. In the meantime,
I was also at the hairdresser's first thing. And then I bought a pair of shoes.
I'll tell you what, madam, you retrace your steps and we'll take care of everything at this end.
Oh, you're very sweet.
So I've been told.
I'm sorry to give you so much trouble.
It's no trouble at all, madam.
Oh, thank you. Oh, my husband will be furious if he finds out. I'll give £100 to the person who finds it.
£100? Now, don't worry. If it's here, we'll find it. Mr. Lucas, where are you?
Get up, you fool. Look, there's 100 quid lying around here somewhere.
We don't want the rest of the shop looking for it, otherwise we won't get the reward. I'm not just a pretty face.
I'll tell you what, we'll both look, and if we find it, we'll split it 50-50.
Well, it was my customer, 60-40.
Ah, yes. Well, then if I spot it first, 60-40 to me.
And if I spot it first, 70-30 to me.
A straight 50-50.
A straight 60-40.
A straight 50-50 is my last offer.
Give me one good reason.
I've just spotted it.
A straight 50-50. Where have you spotted it?
Between Peacock's legs.
How did he get there? No, see what you mean. Which just by his heel. It's shining like Beachy Head Lighthouse.
Yes, and if he looks down between his legs now, you and me have got 50% of Sweet Fanny. Listen. I'll go over there and hide it. And you try and get it away.
standing like that, Mr. Lucas?
Why am I standing like this, Captain Peacock?
That is what I asked.
It's your lumbago, Mr. Lucas.
It's my lumbago, Mr. Lucas. Captain Peacock.
Why do you suddenly get it behind my back?
No, it's behind my back.
Come here, Mr. Lucas. Is that the best you can do?
At the moment, sir, yes.
I usually have to massage it for him, Captain Peacock.
Oh, the relief.
Why are you massaging his ankle, Mr. Humphreys? That's not where you get lumbago.
Well, if I was to massage him where you get lumbago, we'd both be thrown out.
It's gone.
It's in my pocket.
Back to your places, both of you.
Just a moment, Captain Peacock. I'd like a word with everybody.
Yes, would all the staff pay attention, please? Mr. Rumbold would like a word with everybody.
Captain Peacock, would you like us to go back to our places while Mr. Rumbold does his word with everyone, or stay here?
Don't be juvenile, Mr. Lucas.
I have just had a message from a lady who has lost a valuable diamond somewhere in this department. Now, she's offering a substantial reward for its recovery, so I suggest you all have a very good search. Whoever finds it should bring it straight to me, and I will divide the reward equally amongst you all.
How much is the reward, sir?
I beg your pardon?
How much is the reward?
How much is the reward?
Yes.
£75. How does that sound?
Very convincing, sir. The old chiseler's trying to do us out of 25 quid.
It's his ears, you know. When they're low set like that, it means they've got criminal instincts.
Well, carry on and good luck.
Thank you, sir.
Pretend to be looking.
That's 3 in this department and 2 in the ladies. That is 5. 5 and 75 is 5 and 5, 22. That'll be £15 each.
Divided among 6, Mr. Granger.
Captain Peacock, as you are neither a member of my department nor of Mrs. Slocum's, I don't see how you could possibly have any claim on the reward.
I, on the other hand, have no difficulty whatsoever in seeing how I might have a claim on it. And have a claim on it I will.
Well, I think whosever's department it's found in should get the lion's share.
Well, I think whoever finds it should get the lion's share.
No. Well, there's no doubt that Mr. Lucas has the best suggestion.
Well, are we all agreed to cut Captain Peacock in?
Believe me, Mr. Granger, I'm very much in. So now let's all start looking for it, shall we?
Must be very small. Captain Peacock, what is the reason for your proximity?
This is my area. I shall look here. You look over there.
Captain Peacock? Are you free, Captain Peacock? Should we discover the diamond, wouldn't it be better to take it to the young lady direct?
Well, should you discover the diamond, Mr. Humphreys? It would be the sensible thing to do, yes.
To whom am I speaking? Madam's butler? Well, would you tell Madam when she returns that we have located her stone? No, this is not the doctor's. We are Grace Brothers. Yes, I have the diamond here in my hand. And the message is... not now. I'm busy with my secretary. Yes, the message is for her to come directly to my office and make the £100 reward payable personally to me, Cuthbert Rumbold. Yes, and I will see that it goes to those who deserve it. Yes, goodbye. Come in.
Have you finished your call to MI5, sir?
What? Oh, yes. Don't tell anyone else. You couldn't hear through the door, could you?
No, sir.
Good.
Pretend you're looking. And ought we to take it to Rumbold?
Oh, use your loaf. If we take it to him, she'll make out the cheque for 100 to him, he'll pocket 25, and 6 of us will have to share what's left. Do you follow me?
Well, I'm trying, but he's got to give me housemaid's knee. Are you being served, sir?
Good.
Good.
What we've got to do is to get this woman to make out the cheque for 100 to us. We'll pocket 25 and then take our share as well.
Of course, and Rumbo can't complain because he was trying to fiddle us in the first place. Yeah, but how are we going to get hold of this woman's telephone number so we can ring her, tell her we've got it and that she's got to come and see us?
Well, one of us will bravely sneak into Rumbold's office when he's at lunch and get it.
Which one?
A toss of the coin will decide. Heads. Good luck.
You've got low set ears as well, haven't you?
Mr. Rumbold. Mr. Rumbold. Blue, white, flawless, 3 carats or more. 58 facets. Oh, what a careless lady. Now, where's her number? Ah, then. Mr. Rumbold is going to make a telephone call.
Operator, Rumbold here. Would you get me 9650721?
Is that you, Captain Peacock?
No. I found it.
Put it out of sight. Follow me. Now that we've found it, I'm going to see that we get the biggest share.
But I found it.
It was found in my department, and I gave you permission to look.
All right, then, well, how can we get a bigger share if we've already agreed?
Because we'll hide it. And if they don't divvy up, we'll say we can't find it. Hand it over.
Right. Oh. Oh, it must have slipped through. I can't find it.
You wouldn't double-cross me, Miss Brahms.
No, honest, Mrs. Slocum. Oh, yes, I have found it. It's gone down the insides of me tights. Oh, it's going to take ages to get off.
Oh, well, shake it down your leg and we'll cut the toe off.
Has Rumbo gone to lunch?
Yes, he went about 10 minutes ago. And I'm going to get mine now.
Quite true.
And now I suggest, madam, that you meet me by the lifts on the ground floor. Oh, that's quite easy. I shall be wearing a red carnation. I'm tall, slightly greying at the sides. Yes, that's right, rather distinguished. If you make the cheque payable to Captain S. Peacock, and I will see that the £75 gets to the one who deserves it. It was £100. I see. Madam is very generous. Some people have no integrity.
Operator, I wonder if you'd get me 9650721.
What, again?
Yes, again.
Hello. Oh, my name's Lucas. Could I speak to the lady that lost the diamond?
Lucas?
Yes, that's right, Lucas.
Lucas?
Captain Peacock!
What is the meaning of this?
Ah, well, I was just trying to ring up the lady, you see, sir.
Why?
Ah, yes. Why? Well, it's a private matter, really.
Why, Mr. Lucas?
Well, you see, sir, she fancied me.
She fancied you?
Ah, you noticed it too.
I demand an explanation.
Yeah, well, shall I come down there, or will you come up here?
I was searching for the diamond.
It wasn't lost in here.
Well, it could have been carried in here on the sole of a shoe that had a bit of chewing gum on the sole.
What are you two doing in here?
I came to say that I hadn't found the diamond, sir.
Oh.
And I came to say that I hadn't found the diamond either.
Well, keep searching, gentlemen. Come in.
May I have a word with Mr. Rumbold?
What can I do for you, Mrs. Slocum?
Well, I came to say that I haven't found the diamond.
And I haven't found it either.
But if Miss Brahms or I did find it, we feel, and I am unanimous in this, that we ought to get a bigger cut.
Yes, well, I think if you find the diamond, that's perfectly fair.
Yes, whoever finds the diamond should have the larger cut. Or indeed all of it.
Yes, well, let's agree to that then. Whoever finds the diamond gets all the reward.
Yes, I definitely agree with that.
Not yet. Yes, we agree also. And I think the moment has come for me to tell you that...
Come in. Have you come to tell me that you haven't found the diamond?
No, I've come to tell you that Mr. Granger has.
What?
Yes, it had rolled under the counter. Isn't it marvellous? We all get £12.50 new pence.
Well, what about this one then? She must have lost 2.
Or 3.
She couldn't have lost 4.
Come in.
Come in, Mr. Mayor.
Oh, there you are, Mrs. Slocum. Here, you got a bit of sewing on to do. I found these in my truck.
Ah, they're off the dresses. It's all rubbish. Look, we should have guessed. Look, they're all mounted for sewing on.
Oh, so they are.
Well, we'll have to get looking again, won't we?
Just a moment, just a moment. Rumbold here. Somebody phoned and suggested what? Yes? Yes, I see. The lady is on her way up. Apparently she's been waiting by the lifts downstairs for a gentleman who is tall, slightly greying at the sides, rather distinguished, he says, and wearing a red carnation. I wonder who that could be. Correct me if I'm wrong, Captain Peacock, but I don't recall you producing a diamond.
Well, I thought it was rubbish like the rest.
Well, let's have a butcher's.
Here, let me see that. It's not mounted. It's the real one. Oh, £1,000. I've never had anything worth that much in my hand before.
Neither have I.
Yes, well, you can all get back to work now, and Captain Peacock, I'll see that you get the £75.
I prefer to stay, sir, and receive the full reward personally.
Come in. Ah, it's young Mr. Grace.
Good afternoon, Mr. Grace.
We weren't expecting you, sir.
No, you were in a fortnight ago for 10 minutes.
This young lady has told me all about it in the lift. I think you've all done very well.
Oh, thank you, Mr. Grace.
Who found it?
I'm happy to say that I did.
Oh, I'm very grateful to you. And I'll give you the £100 I promised.
100?
It was a bad line.
Well, I'm going to put in another £100, making it £200 in all.
That's very generous of you, Mr. Grace.
Don't the rest of us get any?
Oh, yes, you're all going to benefit. Now, you make the cheque out to me, and I will make out another cheque for £100.
200, I think you said, Mr. Grace.
£200 to go to Grace Brothers Staff Home. You see, virtue does bring its own reward, as I can see by all your happy faces.
Grace Brothers Staff Home.
Oh, what are you smiling about?
Well, it rather seems that I should be the first one to benefit.
Next show up is Bristow with an episode called Fair Share.
Bristow by Frank Dickens, with Michael Williams as Bristow, Rodney Bewes as Jones, Owen Brenman as Hewitt, and Dora Bryan as Mrs. Purdy. Fair Shares.
You know my trouble? I'm unlucky. I was born with rubbish genes. Not exactly rubbish genes, but the wrong genes. I inherited the genes on my father's side. Genes not of this century. I would have probably made a name for myself if they were still laying siege to castles, because my great-great-great-grandfather was one of those soldiers that attach stones or boiling cauldrons to giant catapults. He was eventually, according to family records, hoist by his own petard, but that's another story. Since I work as a buying clerk in a big organisation, it would have helped me more had I been born with my mother's genes, because her side of the family were in business. Merchants handling spices and perfumes and silks from faraway places with strange-sounding names. Not that my mother's ancestors were traders themselves. According to the family records, they were domestics in the Marco Polo family, but there is no doubt they would have been familiar with stocks and shares, knowledge picked up in the conversation over dinner as they were serving the guests their exotic meals. And it is this knowledge that would have been handed down to me in her genes. I could have done with some of them and that know-how about a fortnight ago, when what started out as a typical day...
Morning, Mr. Station Master. No sign of the 8:15 commuter special, although it clearly says 8:15 on your timetable. Is there a reason for this, or is it some game where the train that gets closest to this time wins a prize?
So you are a wag. But if you see anything even resembling a train, please give me a nod. It's so long since I've seen one, I've forgotten what they look like. And now, if you'll excuse me...
I got in early. I could tell the cleaning ladies had been hard at work. My seat was still warm and a lot of my paperwork had been corrected.
What on earth is Mr. Bristow flailing his arms about for? Desk raids?
In a way, he's going through his drowning man routine. He claims every time he sits down at his desk, his whole past life flashes before him.
Mr. Bristow.
Heavens alive, boy. You startled me.
Postcard from the cleaning lady. Shall I read it out?
Why not?
Lovely weather, beautiful sunny morning. Stayed in, dusted the room, swept the floor, washed the linoleum, scrubbed the bath, disinfected the toilet, having a lovely time.
Bears out what I've always said. A change is as good as a rest. What a life. As we left the office on Friday, it started to rain, and it rained right through the weekend and all the way here this morning. Then, as we came into the building, the rain stopped. And look at it out there now. 9 to 5 sunshine. Jones, why do we stick at this job?
Oh, wages. That's why we stick at this job, because they pay us wages.
But there's more to life than this. There's a world out there waiting to be conquered.
It don't beat wages. You can't beat wages.
I want of excitement, ambition and adventure.
Oh, wages is all them things, and much, much, much more.
Oh, morning, Mr. Flood.
Morning, Flood. Morning, sir. Ignorant pig. Friday lunchtime, he passed me in the street, didn't say a word. I said, good afternoon. He ignored me completely. I'd have run after him and given him a piece of my mind if I'd been foraging through a dustbin at the time.
Good morning, all. Isn't it exciting?
Good morning, Miss Sudman. I know something is exciting because the girls in the typing pool have all polished the rings on the ends of their noses. But I'm not acquainted with the reason.
Sir Reginald Chester Perry, the firm's founder, is in the building.
Exciting, Miss Sudman? Why should it be exciting because our beloved firm's founder has come in to play with his toys?
It may not be exciting to you, but the girls in the typing pool have never seen him in the flesh. Have you?
No. Jones has, haven't you, Jones?
Haven't I what?
Seen Sir Reginald Chester Perry?
Yes. Bumped into him in the corridor. Sent him flying.
How did he take it?
Picture, if you can, 2 clear blue eyes filled with compassion and understanding.
Hold on, Jones. Do you consider yourself some sort of authority on people's expressions?
As a matter of fact, I do.
How would you describe this expression?
That is a mixture of loathing and contempt.
He's very good. Yep, but enough of this. The question we must ask ourselves is this. Why has Sir Reginald Chester Perry, our beloved firm's founder, chosen this particular day to grace us with his presence?
Oh, look at his car out there. That beautiful white Rolls with the black leather upholstery. When are you going to get one of those?
Payday. But he's silly to come into town in a car with Traffic Warden 262 on the rampage. He's always getting parking tickets. Look at the number of tickets she's handed out this morning. With a car in the street. Practically a rainforest out there.
Surely a parking ticket is nothing to a multi-millionaire.
And that's where you're wrong, Miss Sudden. People with money are reputedly mean. And none more so than our beloved firm's founder, who bought his helicopter simply to scour the countryside in the mornings looking for latecomers. The question we are asking, Miss Sunman, is why our beloved firm's founder should suddenly deign to call on us. And we shall have the answer in any second. Here comes the lift boy. I say...
Hello, Mr. B. What can I do for you?
Why is Sir Reginald Chester Perry here?
What's in it for me?
Don't waste time, boy. Jones, give him a quick Chinese burn.
No need for that. The directors are in. I took a crowd up to the boardroom. It's an emergency meeting. The Chester Perry Company are making a takeover bid for Miles and Rudge, the firm across the street.
It was at that moment that a shudder went through me. It might have been that I caught my elbow on the edge of the filing cabinet, but I'd rather believe it was one of my mother's ancestors' genes pricking its ears up at the mention of the word takeover. Springing into action like one of my great-great-great-grandfather's forebears sighting a castle wall, I took over the situation. Thank you, lad. On your way.
Take it easy, will you?
Miss Sullivan, the conversation you just heard is confidential.
You mean about the takeover?
Shh. Walls have ears.
Careless talk costs lives.
Jones.
Sorry.
Why has it got to be kept secret?
If news of this leaked out, it would cause a sensation on the stock exchange. Stocks and shares, etc., etc. Panic buying and so on. Confusion, chaos, bulls and bears.
Dow Jones index down, FTSE up, Hang Seng something.
Jones, I shan't tell you again. You are now frightening Miss Sunderland.
I wouldn't say frightened. I don't know what you're talking about, that's all.
Quite so, men's talk. You run along, my dear. But remember, mum's the word.
Bye.
I've been thinking, Jones. If we knew anything about the stock market, we ought to be able to make some money out of this. I mean, we know that our company are going to try and take over another company, and we know this. And if we bought shares in that company, or this company, we could tell a broker this, and he could invest and gain heavily.
You are talking about, what is it? We have information. We ought to invest in the company, in the company that is taking over. No. The company that is being taken, or is it the company which is us, of course? The broker buys the shares and sells them to us, and we buy them, and everyone makes a killing. That's what we're talking about, right?
It's brilliant, Jones. We are sitting on a fortune, but we must keep it to ourselves and not go around telling everyone. I know you and your loose tongue. Now, how do we go about getting some advice? Of course, the answer to our prayers.
I'll say nothing like a nice cup of tea and a chocolate bun to start the day.
Jones, I'm not talking about tea and buns. I am referring to what we were talking about.
The stocks and shares thing. Look at the cream puffs.
Stocks and shares? You want to know about investment? You want to put a folio together? You have a good tip? You want a broker?
Don't keep touching them, Jones, unless you're going to buy. You're spreading germs all over the place. I don't know where you were brought up, but they must have told you about hygiene.
I'll have the eclair, the macaroon, the custard tart, and the donut.
Steady, Jones. Don't go spending it before you've earned it.
And don't tell me what to do with my money.
Gentlemen, please behave yourselves.
Well,
I'm afraid you can't take all those, Mr. Jones. Otherwise there won't be any left for anyone else.
It's not my fault. Put more cakes on the trolley.
There's no room.
Nonsense. Assuming the surface area of a macaroon is 3 1/4 centimetres.
Hello? What's this in your waste paper basket, Mr. Bristow? Why, it's yesterday's light as a feather fairy cake. It must have fallen off your desk.
Fallen off nothing. It was pushed. Jones, we have to talk. Thank you, Mrs. Purdy. Bye. Did you get anything from what she said?
Not really.
I didn't think you did. But I wish you would pay more attention.
Mm-hmm.
If we're going to make a killing out of this, we have to listen and absorb everything that we are told.
Right.
Some people have to go to evening classes and all that to learn what we can learn in a few hours. I mean, we are at the centre of the operation. It is all happening around us. It was good in a way that we didn't show too much interest in what Mrs. Purdy was saying and alert anyone who was listening as to our intentions. Because it's essential we keep it to ourselves.
Yeah.
We don't want too many people catching in. We need someone who knows all and says an out.
Got it. The man we need is Fred Stokes.
Fred Stokes, the caretaker?
He mixes, he gets around, he listens. He keeps himself to himself.
Do you know where he hangs out?
Follow me.
Are you sure he lives down here?
Oh, yeah, I've been here loads of times.
Rather creepy. Reminds me of Phantom of the Opera.
Or the Third Man.
Or Judd, the hired hand in Oklahoma.
Poor Judd is dead, a candle lights his head. Here we are. Door on the right. Who is it? It's me, Jones, from the buying department.
How many of you are there?
Just me and a friend. His name is Bristow.
Come in, both of you, and warm yourselves.
Oh, thanks, Stokesy.
Now then. Now, what can I do for you? I take it you haven't come all this way just to look at the scenery?
No, as a matter of fact. But,
mind where you're putting your feet.
Sorry.
Your friend's a bit clumsy, isn't he?
I'm afraid so. I'd better do the talking. We want to know something about stocks and shares.
And we want to know quickly. And
what's the matter with a man? I told you to be careful. Figaro ain't used to all this being trodden on.
Sorry.
If he's clumsy like that down here, what's he like up there? Those poor girls in the typing pool must go around in fear of their lives.
He can't help it. He's naturally clumsy. For heaven's sake, keep still, Bristow. We want to know something about stocks and shares.
Stocks and shares, eh?
About making money out of a takeover deal.
Takeover deal, eh?
So?
Well, if you'd asked me about rats, mice and associated rodents, I could have given you the lot. Door and window frames is no one better. Radiators and general fixings, no problem. But stocks and shares and takeovers, zilch. Stocks and shares is my Achilles heel, I'm afraid.
You mean we've come all this way? But
get him out of here. He'll kill us all.
Fine waste of time that turned out to be. All that splashing about.
Oh, don't look at me like that. At least I tried. And I got wet as well. Answer that.
Bristow are buying? Can I help you? I can't see how you were affected. What do you mean? It looks bad. Just a minute. Jones, pull the socks in. The people in the office across the road are complaining.
Oh, righto.
Sorry about that, but we don't have the radiators on in the spring. Jones, we must be stupid. We have overlooked the one person capable of putting us wise in this matter.
Who's that?
Is the postboy there, please? Gone to lunch. When he gets back, ask him to pop up to the buying department. The answer to all our problems. That afternoon, Miss Peach put her head round the door. I was delightfully surprised. She looks much better if you can't see her body.
Mr. Bristow, what's the latest on the takeover bid?
Don't tell me you know about it.
It's all over the typing pool. Everyone knows.
Oh, curse that Jones. It's supposed to be confidential. How are we going to make any money out of it if everyone knows?
Make money?
I'm not at liberty to discuss it.
It's to do with buying shares, isn't it?
Who told you that?
The cleaning lady.
Mrs. Crisp knows. That means everyone in the firm knows. They'll be shouting it from the rooftops next night. Postrom, is your postboy there? It's Bristow of the buying department. Bristow. B-R-I-S-T-O-W. B for Birmingham, R for Roehampton, I for Inverness. That's right. Bristow. I need him up here urgently. Where does he go for lunch? The Casa Pastrami in the High Street. Thank you. These modern kids live the life of O'Reilly. 30 minutes for lunch? Disgraceful. When I started here, the postboys were quite happy with 5 minutes and a bowl of gruel.
Why do you need him urgently?
Because he has the contacts we need. He has contacts in the city, top people, influential people, brokers and so on.
How does a postboy get to know those kind of people?
He goes scrumping in the stockbroker belt, doesn't he? Speak the English.
Welcome to Casa Pastrami.
Does the postboy from Chester Perry's come here for lunch?
Oh, can you describe him?
Certainly. Face like an aubergine, hair like spaghetti, and eyes like black olives.
Oh, he's been and gone. Are you from Chester Perry's?
Doesn't it show? The hollow cheeks, the sunken eyes.
My sister is a tea lady there. Mrs. Purdy. Do you know her?
Who doesn't? Heart of gold top.
It was her presented us with all our crockery.
Oh, of course. All marked CP. CP, Chester Perry. Casa Pastrami. Very clever. Well, I can't stop. Ciao, ciao, bambini. Oh, still here, Miss Peach. Any sign of the postboy?
He hasn't been here while I've been here.
Bristow? This place is like a pigsty. I want it cleaned up at once.
Yes, Mr. Fudge. Certainly, Mr. Fudge. Right away, Mr. Fudge.
Surely you don't let him talk to you like that.
He's always like that when he's under pressure. And he's under pressure whenever Sir Reginald is around. You'll have to excuse me.
I'll let you get on with it. Bye.
Postroom, any news of the lad? Don't forget to tell him.
What on earth are you doing?
Well, this place is like a pigsty. Papers everywhere. We'd better tidy it up.
Get lost. I'm fed up with being bossed around. Exactly who do you think you are? I've no intention of
I'm
tidying
not
up.
asking you to do it. I'll do it. Cleanliness is next to godliness. I'll move this chair, this one here.
Ah, well done, Bristow. Jones, give Bristow a hand, you lazy good-for-nothing.
Why, you rotten... Move that filing cabinet over here. There's a good chap. Many ham, etc., etc.
Ball!
Jones, although I say it myself, the place looks a treat. And the floor. You could eat your breakfast off that floor. And while you're down there eating your beans on toast, would you give my shoes a quick buff? Sir Reginald might want to inspect some of his senior stuff.
He won't come in here. An 18th in line for chief buyer is hardly senior stuff.
Oh, you never know. He might come in here to inspect the Miles and Rudge building, and I may be able to give him a few pointers.
He won't come in here.
You know your trouble, Jones. You are full of assumptions. Why do you think I've had the place tidied up? Why do you think I've had you down on your knees, polishing the floor until your shirt is soaked with perspiration and you look as though you've been dragged through a hedge backwards? Because I want Sir Reginald, our beloved founder, to like what he sees as he steps through that door. Pass me that copy of the House Journal.
I wish you'd stop giving me orders. Anyone would think you run this office. You don't outrank me, you know. You might think you do, but you don't.
Don't bring personality into this. I come before you alphabetically. Now pass me that House Journal.
Oh, get lost!
Jones, wait! What a fool the man is. We are sitting on the edge of a fortune and he starts throwing tantrums. Hewitt, stay where you are. Let me put some paper down. I've just cleaned the floor.
So I see. Fantastic. Is it someone's birthday?
Sir Reginald Chester Perry is in the building.
Oh, I know. They're putting down red carpet in the corridor and painting some of the offices. What's that you're laying down? The House Journal? Well, it looks better torn up on the floor. Especially that cover picture of Sir Reginald. Who blacked in his teeth?
Jones. Rather good, isn't it?
Well, you can get into trouble for that. It's worse than defacing a coin of the realm. Have you ever seen him in the flesh?
Of course. I bumped into him outside the ballroom once. Knocked him down the stairs.
How did he take it?
Picture, if you can, two clear blue eyes filled with compassion and understanding.
Oh, Jones tells it better. Buying department, Hewitt speaking. Is he? Are you sure? Gordon Bennett, I'll tell him. According to Jones, Sir Reginald is coming up here. That's me off. Bye.
Holy mackerel! Holy mackerel! Holy mackerel! Good morning, Your Highness, Your Worshipful Holiness. Oh, shoot, Miss Peach.
Hello, Mr. Bristow. What are you doing down there?
I'm putting these papers down to keep the floor clean. Sir Reginald is paying us a visit.
Oh, will you get me his autograph? Ask him to sign to Prunella.
Of course not. How can I possibly ask for his autograph? He thinks I'm a top man. Top men don't ask for autographs. Is that your name? Prunella? Prunella Peach. Good morning, your worshipful Holiness King Majesty. Oh, it's you, Jones. Careful! Don't step on the floor, step on the papers.
I will not step on the papers because I am not leaving papers all over my nice, clean floor. Sir Reginald is on his way.
What do we do? What do we do?
Calm down, Bristow. We've done everything we can.
Miss Peach, we don't want him to see you. Hide under the desk. No. The room cupboard, quick.
For heaven's sake, Bristow, take it easy. Sit down. Now, let's get organised. Have you spoken to the post boy about you-know-what?
Well, you know what? I don't follow. The chairs. The chairs? I mean, it's all right. She knows. Everybody knows. No, he hasn't been up yet. He's still at lunch, greedy little pig. You think a kid that size could get by on a bag of crisps?
Bristow, will you snap out of it? You are waffling. We need that kid, otherwise we're losing a fortune. Bristow, answer it. No, get out of the way. What's that? On his way. Excellent. We're ready. He's on his way. Stand by the door, Miss Peach.
All right. No, which one's on his way?
He's on his way. Thanks. They're both on their way. Pull yourself together, man. Action stations, Miss Peach.
Sir Reginald! Sir Reginald is coming! I can hear him!
That's not Sir Reginald.
It is! I know his footsteps.
It's the postboy. Careful, postboy, the floors are slippery.
My leg! My leg!
Postboy, now, listen carefully.
All right.
My leg!
Take it
He's
easy.
hurt his leg.
All right.
Yeah, I'm aware of that. Now, listen, postboy.
I can't talk to the boy now.
Miss Peach, Prunella, you don't seem to understand. There's a lot of money at stake.
My leg! My leg, I think it's broken!
What the devil is going on out here?
It's the postboy, sir.
I can see that. What's the matter with him?
It's my leg!
He thinks it's broken.
I see. Well, he can't stay here. People have got to get in and out. Put him in my office.
You can't move him.
Bristow? Who is this young lady?
Miss Peach of the typing pool.
Miss Peach. I suggest you return to the pool from whence you came and let us handle matters which concern our own department at once.
My leg! What about my leg?
I'm sorry, I am not moving until that child is placed under medical supervision.
Well, lad, apart from the leg, do you feel well enough to be moved?
I'll try.
Bristow, Jones, don't just stand there. Give the boy a hand. And you, miss, instead of standing there with your hands on your hips, call the medical staff and tell them to send someone up here to remove the child. Dear, oh dear, here comes another one. What do you want, Miss Sunman?
Good afternoon, Mr. Fudge. I wonder if you've seen...
Why, there you are, Miss Peach. I was sent out to look for you. Miss Glockling wants to know where you are. You've been absent from your desk for 20 minutes.
Ow! Ow! Gently, Bristow. He's not a sack of coal. Don't take him to my office. It's all tidy in there. Take him to the sick bay.
Ow!
You're hurting him. Put him down.
Sick bay.
Mr. Fudge, the boy is in pain. Mr. Jones, what are you doing?
I want to get his shoes off before his feet start swelling up.
Ouch! Get off! Better leave them, Jones. The child is suffering. No, don't put him down, Bristow. We don't want him in here. Take him somewhere else. Sir Reginald's party are due to arrive any minute now.
It's very heavy, sir.
Jones, give Bristow a hand.
I'm trying my best.
Steady, Jones. You don't know your own strength. You said the sick bay, sir. Sick bay, was it?
I don't care where you take him. Get him out of here!
Ow!
Put him down.
Give him to me.
No, watch out, Miss Sunman. The floor's very slippery. You're all right, Miss Sunman?
Oh, my leg. My leg, I think, is broken.
This way, Sir Reginald. This is the buying department, which is run by Mr. Fudge. Now, careful, sir. The floor is slippery. Careful!
Oh. It's the leg, is it, sir?
I don't want to talk about Friday.
Good morning, Mr. Bristow.
Well, Miss Peach, as I live and breathe. I knew it was you. I heard the tap-tapping of your walking stick coming down the corridor. How is the leg?
Painful. How's Sir Reginald?
When you are as rich as he is, a broken leg is nothing. He's been carried round on a litter. Just think, Miss Peach. Had it not been for us, he would never have broken his leg. The takeover bid would have gone through, and we'd have been on easy street. As it was, no one made any money.
except Miss Sunman.
Miss Sunman?
She made a lot of money.
I don't follow. How could Miss Sunman have made money?
She heard Sir Reginald was getting lots of parking tickets, and being mean like all rich people, he didn't like it. Because of the number of tickets he was getting every time he came to town, he decided to buy the building opposite, pull it down, and turn it into a car park. Miss Sunman realised this and invested heavily in consolidated car parks, knowing they would carry out the work if the deal went through. When the price of their shares went up, she sold out and made a small fortune. Are you all right, Mr. Bristow? You've gone pale.
I'll be okay. I feel rather faint. Could you bring me a glass of water?
Sparkling?
Anything. It's good for genes.
Have sparkling. There's a future in sparkling water. Miss Sunman bought shares in it this morning. Mr. Bristow? Mr. Bristow? Will someone help? Mr. Bristow's fainted.
Bristow was written by Frank Dickens and featured Michael Williams as Bristow, Rodney Bewes as Jones, Owen Brenman as Hewitt, Dora Bryan as Mrs. Purdy, John Glover as Fudge and the station master, Katie Odie as Miss Sunman, Simon Schatzberger as the postboy, and Carol Starks as Miss Peach and the lift boy, with David Batley as Fred Stokes. The music was composed and performed by John Whitehall. The sound recording was by Graham Harper. The director, Neil Cargill.
Coming up now is Dad's Army with an episode called Museum Piece.
We present Arthur Lowe, John Le Mesurier and Clive Dunn in Dad's Army. Episode 2. Museum Piece, featuring John Lorry, James Beck, and Ian Lavender, with this week's guest, Eric Woodburn. Now, here is the latest news, and this is John Snagg reading it. It is May 1940, and through France and Belgium, the Nazi war machine sweeps forward relentlessly. In Britain, the able-bodied men, and some not so able, have answered their country's call to join Britain's citizens' army, the local defence volunteers. The men who make up this new part-time force are out on parade every night of the week, but in spite of this, they carry on their workaday lives as usual. It is Monday morning, and at Swallows Bank in Walmington-on-Sea, the manager, Mr. Mannering, and his chief clerk get down to the business of the week.
Ah, Wilson, come in. I want to have a word with you about yesterday's manoeuvres.
Oh, do you, sir?
I think we learnt a lot of valuable lessons.
Oh, I'm sure we did, sir.
At the same time, I don't think we received the unthinking obedience which we are entitled to expect if we are to become an efficient fighting unit.
Well, I wouldn't say that, sir.
Well, I would. When I ordered one of the platoon to wade through the river, did I get unthinking obedience?
Well, some of them did have a thought or two, sir.
Exactly. Furthermore, some of them put those thoughts into words.
Oh? Oh, did they, sir?
Unless I'm very much mistaken, when I gave the command, ford the river, somebody said, get stuffed.
Probably Fraser, sir, that bossy Scotsman.
The voice sounded distinctly English, Wilson.
Oh, really, sir? I mean, of course, Fraser's very crafty. Anyway, I'll try and see it doesn't happen again.
Well, the point is this, Wilson. Whoever said it, nobody crossed the river.
Well, some of us were wearing our best suits, sir.
You weren't wearing your best suit.
Oh, it was my father's, sir. He thought very highly of it.
Young Pike showed the right spirit. He went in up to his thighs. Lucky for us that he wasn't wearing his father's suit.
Well, actually, sir, he was wearing his father's fishing waders. It was just bad luck that he fell flat on his face halfway across.
Be that as it may, I would have welcomed an example from you as my second in command.
Well, I was first across the bridge, sir.
Hardly a brilliant move, Wilson, after I'd already explained that the bridge was demolished.
Well, it wasn't, sir, was it?
You were supposed to pretend it was demolished.
But I did, sir. We all did. We all pretended it was demolished, and we just used it to help us to pretend to go splashing through the river without actually getting wet.
You know, sometimes, Wilson, your attitude worries me.
Yes, well, I'm awfully sorry, sir, but anyway, I'm sure when we get our uniforms, you'll be able to send us charging like madmen through every river in the district with impunity.
I'll remember that, Sergeant Wilson.
Listen, is there any news of the uniform, sir?
6 weeks at the earliest. Same for the rifles.
6 weeks. Until then, we have to fight Hitler's parachutists with 1 shotgun, 15 carving knives, my cricket bat, and Lance Corporal Jones's assegai.
You left out the pepper. And don't forget Godfrey's number 3 iron.
I'm sure he'd do better with the wood.
Come in.
Here's the post, sir.
Ah, thank you, Pike. You seem to have recovered from your ducking yesterday.
Oh, yes, sir. As soon as I got in, I wallowed in a hot bath.
Wallowed? That's not very patriotic, is it? You're only supposed to have 6 inches of bath water, you know.
Yeah, well, sir, I worked it out that you can have 7 6-inch baths a week. That means you can have 42 inches of water. But I do better than that. I make do with 2 15-inch baths a week and save 12 inches of water.
Save your mathematics for your work, Pike.
Sir.
That'll be all.
Yes.
Oh, dear. Wilson.
Yes, sir?
Here's another request for an account to be closed for the
really,
duration.
sir? Which one is that?
It's the Peabody Museum of Historical Army Weapons. This is from the curator. Apparently he's joined the Navy. The museum is being closed for the duration, and he wants us to transfer all their funds to a deposit account until he returns. You deal with that, will you, Wilson?
Yes, certainly, sir. Right away. Oh, just a moment, sir.
Yes, what is it?
Did you say weapon museum, sir?
Yes, that's right. By Jove, Wilson. Are you thinking what I'm thinking?
I doubt it, sir.
You never know. There might be something there we can use.
Well, I don't think we should get too excited, sir. Their prize exhibit is a full-scale replica of Bourdersier's chariot.
They go up to the Crimean, don't they? And the Boer War.
Well, surely that sort of thing won't be of any use to us, sir.
Nonsense. British Army hasn't changed its rifle since they threw out the flintlock. What do you think they used to relieve Ladysmith?
Well, I've never really given it much thought, sir.
Carbines, Wilson. 303 carbines, or I'm a Dutchman.
Well, I'll draft a letter to GHQ suggesting they look into it.
Oh, no. Oh, no, Wilson. We're not waiting for reams of bump from them. Before we see another dawn, the sky could be black with parachutists. Those weapons will be in our hands today. Parade the men at the church hall at 1600 hours, ready to move off.
Well, the shops don't shut until 5:30, sir.
Well, they'll be ready by 6, can't they?
Well, that's 1800 hours, sir.
What? Oh, yes, so it is. Well, parade them at 1800 hours for Operation Gun Grab.
But if we just breeze along and take the guns, won't that be stealing?
There's a war on, Wilson.
I know that, sir. I'm fully aware of that, but it still sounds very much like stealing.
I'm an army officer, and I shall requisition anything I require for the defence of our homes and of this town.
Here we are, then.
Oh, evening, Mr. Walker.
Hello there, young Pikey. Now, listen, lads. There's 10 minutes before we start the parade, so I've got a few items in scarce supply, in case somebody's interested.
Yeah?
I've got chocolate biscuits, hair grips, elastic, 5 bob a yard. It's so long since it's been in the shops that the ladies must be getting a bit desperate. What about you, Mr. Fraser? You want a bit to keep up your kilt?
I'm no wearing my kilt.
No, well, you want to watch it, Jock. It could be a bit drafty around the Cairngorms.
Excuse me, Mr. Wilson.
Oh, what is it, Pike?
Did you see Mr. Manring just now?
No, has he arrived?
Well, he just crept into the hall, put that brick down there on the floor, and then crept out again. Why do you think he did that, Mr. Wilson?
I've really no idea, Pike.
Bang!
What?
Bang!
What's going on?
Fools, you're all dead. Everyone.
What's she blathering about?
That brick represents a German grenade. I am a German parachutist, and you're all dead. Sam Wilson?
Yes, sir?
Why wasn't the sentry posted?
Well, the parade doesn't start for another 5 minutes, sir.
That's right, we weren't ready.
If you think the Nazi hordes are going to wait until you're ready, you've got another thing coming. You need to be alert at all times. The enemy aren't going to ring up and make an appointment, you know.
I'm sorry, sir. Shall I fall the men in?
Yes, please.
Well, would you mind falling in 3 ranks, please?
Wilson. Try and make it sound a bit more like an order.
I'm sorry, sir. Would you mind falling in 3 ranks, please? All right, at ease, everyone. Squad, attention. The men are all present and correct, sir.
Stand the men at ease, Sergeant.
Right, sir. Squad, stand at ease.
Now, men. I won't beat about the bush. As you know, we are desperately short of arms. Desperate times call for desperate measures. So we're going to requisition what arms we need from the Peabody Museum of Army Weapons.
Mr. Speaks up.
What is it, Jones?
They won't let you have nothing, sir.
I don't see why not. The museum's closed for the duration. There's only some old fool of a caretaker in charge.
That's my father.
Oh. Who is it?
Your dad? Blimey, he must be getting on.
He's not. He's only 88. Mind you, he was very young when he had me. He got married again for the 3rd time last year. Between you and me, I think he had to.
Don't rattle your family skeletons here, Jones. Anyway, I shall make an official requisition. Besides, he's too old to stop us.
I wouldn't count on that, sir. He turns very ugly when he's roused.
It runs in the family.
Yeah, watch it. Private walk. There's no call for that. Insubordination, that is.
All right, that'll do.
Well, I'll put him on a fizzer, I will.
Right.
That's what I do.
Jones, I don't think there's any need for that.
Well, he's had it for awful.
I was only joking.
Silence in the rent!
Thank you, Wilson. Fall the men in outside, and then it's quick march to the Peabody Museum. This is it, Wilson.
Yes, sir. How lovely these old Elizabethan places are, aren't they? And look at the line of those windows and the symmetry of that arch over the entrance door. Lots of lovely large rooms and plenty of space to move about in. Huge grounds with the most beautiful moat.
Wilson, Wilson. You're my sergeant, not an estate agent. That main door doesn't look as if it's been open for months.
Mr. Speaks up.
Yes, Jones, what is it?
Well, when someone calls here, my old dad uses that little trap door there to see that they are who they say they is. He don't open the main door until he has cognizance of your credentials.
Thank you, Jones. One can't overestimate the value of good inside information, Wilson.
No, sir, no. Even when it does come from outside.
Quite. Right, bang the knocker.
All right, sir.
I think you'd better let me talk to him.
All right, Jones. See what you can do. Yep.
There's someone coming, Mr. Manring.
Well done, Pike. I think you're right.
What you want?
Hello, Dad. It's me, young Jack.
Took you long enough to come round, didn't it?
Well, no need to be like that. There's a war on.
There's a what?
There's a war on!
Oh, I wondered what the noise was. How's Elsie?
Well, it's her legs, you see.
Wilson.
Yes, sir?
Who's Elsie?
I've really no idea, sir. I've heard of Gert and Daisy.
Don't be facetious.
What about her legs?
Her legs is troubling her a bit.
Ha! They never troubled no one else. Great, fat, bulging things, like a elephant.
There's no need for you to get personal about my Elsie. We never done you no harm.
You never done me no good, neither.
You never deserved no good, you randy old drunk.
Oh, you're getting ugly. You always did get ugly.
It's you what got ugly.
Just a moment, Corporal Jones. I think I'd better take over here. Now, Mr. Jones, I've come to requisition some arms.
Who are you?
My name is Captain Manring. I'm the manager of Swallow's Bank.
Captains don't manage banks.
No. Well, I'm here in my capacity as captain of this unit.
Captains wear uniform. Where's your uniform?
We haven't got uniforms.
Yeah, can say that.
Now, anyone in the town will tell you that I'm the manager of Swallow's Bank, and I've recently taken command...
Liar! Liar! I've been going to that bank for years. You never served me.
I don't serve people. I'm in my office.
Afraid to show your face, eh? Well, you're not getting nothing from me, so clear off.
How dare he slam that shutter in my face? Who do you think I am, a brush salesman? Open this door, Mr. Jones!
What's the matter with the silly old fool?
Just a minute, Mr. Fraser. You be careful what you're saying. That's my dad, remember?
Mr. Jones, by the powers vested in me by King George, I command you to open this door.
Permission to speak, Mr. Manring.
Yes, Corporal, what is it?
It won't do you no good mentioning the King. He still thinks Queen Victoria's the King.
I see. Well, there's only one thing for it. We shall have to use cunning. Sam Wilson?
Yes, sir?
When did it get dark?
At night, sir.
trying to be funny. I mean, what time does it get dark? Tonight, for instance.
Well, I'm not really sure, sir.
A diary would give you the lighting up time, sir.
Good idea, Walker. Who's got a diary?
Here you are, sir. That'll be 1 and 9pence.
I don't want to buy one. I just want to refer to it.
Oh, please yourself. But I'd snap it up if I was you. I mean, it's not easy to buy a diary in May. They get pretty scarce.
Thank you, Walker. I'm not interested. Anyway, this is last year's.
Is it? Well, there you are, then. They're even more scarce.
Anyway, this will probably give us a rough idea. Let's see now. Here we are. Week commencing May the 14th. 21:15 or 9:15. Really, Wilson. You'd think they'd know which, wouldn't you?
21:15, sir, is just another way of saying 9:15.
Yeah, well, of course, I know that.
Yes, of course.
Just trying to see if you were on your toes.
Aha, yes. Of course, sir, yes.
Right, men. Now, I'm going to dismiss you now, but I want you all to parade again in the church hall at 10 o'clock tonight.
I don't think I'll be able to do that, Mr. Mannering.
Why not?
Well, my mum likes me to be in bed by 10:15.
Rather early for a lad of your age.
Well, it's true, isn't it, Mr. Wilson?
Yes, it's quite true.
How do you know?
Well, I sometimes go round there, for supper and things.
What thing? Yes, I remember now. Well, Pike will just have to have a late night.
My mum's not going to like it, Mr. Mannering.
Well, then she'll just have to lump it, won't she? Right, men. Parade back at the church hall, 10 o'clock tonight. Dismiss.
All right.
Hey, Sergeant Wilson.
What is it, Walker?
Do we really have to put all this black stuff all over our faces? I've just had a wash.
I'm sorry, Walker, but Mr. Mannering wants to treat this trip to the museum as a full-scale night manoeuvre.
I had one of those planned myself. I expect her old man will be back home by the time we finish this lark.
My mum says that staying up late will give me bags under my eyes.
That'll be handy. We can use them to carry the weapons we pinch.
All right, men. Gather round. Hello. Now, as you know, the object of the exercise is to get those weapons out of the museum. This afternoon, we tried the direct approach, and it got us nowhere. Tonight, we shall be clever and use the back door, as it were.
Permission to speak, Mr. Mannering?
Yes, what is it, Jones?
I don't think the museum's got a back door.
I was talking figuratively, Corporal Jones.
Oh, were you really, sir? Oh.
We shall therefore proceed...
Permission to speak, sir?
Yes, what is it now?
I just want you to apologise for stopping you just now when you were in your full flood.
Yes, all right. Thank you very much. I accept your apology. Now, as I was saying, we will proceed to the museum and we will then conceal ourselves by the front door. Private Fraser, who will be disguised as an ARP warden, will then knock loudly on the door until Corporal Jones's father answers. Fraser will then tell him that he has a light showing. When he comes out to have a look, we will creep through the door and lock it behind us.
Well, supposing he won't open the door, sir?
But we just have to make him open it.
Well, that's what we tried to do this afternoon.
Permission to speak, sir?
Yes, Jones.
Show him half a bottle of whiskey. That'll do the trick.
Yes, I'm sure it would. Where are we going to get half a bottle of whiskey?
Hang on a tick while I get my case open. There you are. 30 bob.
Walker, it's only 15 shillings in the shops.
Yeah, but you can't get it in the shops, can you?
All right. Here you are. 30 shillings.
Thank you, Mr. Mannering.
Right, Fraser.
Aye.
As you're going to be the one talking to the old boy, you might as well take charge of the whiskey now.
Mr. Manning, I'll do that, aye.
Here you are, then, Jock.
Well, thank you, Joe.
Well, don't look at it like that, Fraser.
Just thinking what a bonny wee bottle it is.
Yes, well, don't drink it unless you have to. Just show it to him.
Oh, you can trust me. I'll only drink it strictly in the line of duty.
Right, men. Fall in outside. Right, Wilson. Are the rest of the men in position?
I think so, sir.
What do you mean you think so?
Oh, sir, what with the darkness and all the men having black faces, it's not awfully easy. I can only see them when they smile. And in fact, I had to tell them a joke in order to count them, sir.
Well, were they all there?
Well, I'm still not sure, sir. You see, they didn't find the joke very funny.
Oh, right. Fraser.
I got mine.
This whole plan depends on you. Give Sergeant Wilson and me time to join the others, and then knock on the door and tell the old fool he's got a light showing.
Right, sir.
Good luck. Follow me, Wilson.
Coming, sir.
Well, here goes.
Who's there? What you want?
I'm the RP warden. You got light showing?
Oh, no, I ain't.
Well, come out and see for yourself.
I ain't opening this door in my nightshirt.
I didn't know you had a door in your nightshirt.
Honey, man, you ought to be on it, Ma. Go on, buzz off. Hey, just a minute. What's that you got there?
What? Oh, this wee bottle, you mean?
Aye, that's right. Is it whiskey?
Aye. It helps to keep the cold out. Do you want some?
I'll have a drop.
Well, I'm not passing it through that shutter thing. I might never see it again. You'll have to open the door.
Well, hold on a minute. Where's the whiskey?
Here you are.
It's good. Now, where's this flaming light?
It's a bit further along from here, and on the first floor. You'll have to come over here to see it. Come on.
All right. Whereabouts do you mean?
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you'd be able to see it from here, but no, you can't. You'll have to go a wee bit further.
Oh, flaming nuisance. I could catch pneumonia out here.
Right, men. In we go, and be very quiet. Wilson, you be the last in, and close the door behind you.
Very well, sir.
There's no light showing.
Oh, well. I'm sorry. I'm sure I saw one.
You've been drinking too much whiskey. I'm going back in. Here, this door's closed itself. Now what am I going to do? I told you to catch me deaf out here. Flaming idiots. That's what you are. And I'll have to try and get in at the lavatory window right round to the back.
Oh, quite a long way, is it?
Yes, it is, and me only in my carpet slippers. It's all your fault. Come on, give me a hand.
Oh, my pleasure. What about another wee nip to help you keep out the cold, eh?
It's a bit spooky in here, isn't it, Uncle Arthur?
I've told you before. Don't call me that when we're on parade. I'm Sergeant Wilson.
No, last time you told me not to call you it was when we were in the bank.
Well, don't call me Uncle Arthur at the bank or on parade. Now, is that quite clear?
Yes, of course, Sergeant Wilson. Can I hold your hand?
No, you can't. Now, come on. Let's catch up with the others.
Here, Mr. Mannering. Do you think we ought to take some of these halibuts?
No, I don't think so, Walker. Anyway, the halibuts.
I don't suppose he'll mind.
There you are, Wilson. Close the door, all right, behind you?
Oh, yes.
I found this on the wall back there, Mr. Mannering. Is it any good?
Pike, that's a crossbow. Hardly suitable for modern warfare.
Here, look at this, sir. It says here that this is a special elephant shooting musket.
By Pot and Pot of Bond Street, 1835.
Now, let's get it out. I mean, if it goes through an elephant, Mr. Mannering, it will probably go through a tank.
It goes through glass as well.
Put it down, Walker, before you break anything else. This way, men. We'll try this section.
Hey, Mr. Mannering. There's somebody standing over there watching us.
Where? Stupid boy, it's a suit of armour.
Sorry? Here, what's this?
That's a breastplate, Jonesy. Protects the top.
How do you protect the bottom?
Don't turn your back on the enemy. Mr. Mannering?
Yes, Wilson, what is it?
There's a cupboard here marked 303 carbines. British infantry weapons during South African War.
That sounds all right. How many are there?
I'll have a look, sir. I'll just get this door open.
Well?
The cupboard seems to be empty. Just a minute, sir. Can I borrow your torch?
Yes, here you are.
There's another notice here. Requisitioned by Enser, 5th of March, 1940.
Enser? What do they need rifles for?
Oh, protection, sir.
Never regarded them as a frontline unit.
Well, they get some very difficult audiences sometimes.
Oh, well, that's it then. We're not going to get any weapons here. Better go back to base.
Just a moment, sir. We're missing Walker and Jones.
Oh, we can't hang about for stragglers. Come on, men. Follow me.
Come on.
Here, Jonesy. Here, look at this huge thing. Chinese rocket gun, 1901. Used against the Boxers.
I pay no heed to animals east of Suez.
Yeah, this will brighten manoeuvres up a bit. What? Look at the thing as it fires. They've got a sort of grenade on the end.
yellow fiends.
Oh, it'd make a right mess of you, couldn't it? Lovely. Quick, give us an hand, Jonesy.
Well, it looks a bit heavy, Joe.
Well, we won't get it moved by just staring at it. Come on, push! Fraser won't be able to keep your dad at bay much longer. Right.
Come on, then.
Move it. Left hand down a bit. Move. Oh.
Right. Now you've got your feet through the window.
Careful.
Now, turn round and face me. Then you can lower yourself down inside.
Watch it.
That's right. Hold on. I'll help you.
Well,
that's it.
Don't push too hard. I've got to find something to stand up. No. Oh, I've got to put my foot on something. Ow! Pull me back. Pull me back.
What's the matter?
I got my foot stuck right down the what's-it.
Hang on. Grab hold of this chain.
That was very clever, wasn't it?
Oh, well, it flushed you out, didn't it?
Oh, Jonesy. Now we got it back to the church hall. What do you reckon?
I reckon I strained something.
Yeah. Was a bit heavy, wasn't it?
Hey, Joe. Didn't get much, did we?
What are you talking about, Pikey? Jones and I go to all the trouble to bring this Chinese rocket gun back here, and you have the nerve to say we didn't get much?
Oh, sorry, Joe.
Yeah, and take your tea mug off there.
Why?
That's where you put the powder in for firing the rockets. Oh. I reckon the back end of the rocket must have stuck out here.
Hey, look here, look at this. A fuse powder's in this horn thing.
Yeah! Hey, are these the spare rockets on the tray underneath?
Yeah, that's it. Look. You lit it here. Yeah. I say, Pikey, listen, if you got busy with your penknife, you could unbung those ports and we could have it working in no time.
Right.
Be a nice surprise for Mr. Mannering.
Mm-hmm. That's right, Frank. Go on, have a go. Get unbunging.
All right, Mr. Jones.
Yeah, look out. Here he comes.
Ah, Walker, Jones. Don't think your zeal and initiative are not appreciated. You've both displayed just the sort of spirit that's going to get Jerry on the run. But I feel this rocket gun is a little too antique even for us. So we'll return it in the morning. Wilson, come over here a minute.
Right, sir. Not much of a haul, was it, sir?
Oh, we mustn't be downhearted, Wilson.
No, sir.
In the hands of a courageous man, Pike's crossbow might account for an enemy scout.
I suppose so, sir. And Godfrey's ball and chain could play havoc with the spokes of an enemy bicycle.
I better talk to the men. I don't want them to lose heart over this little setback. Right, men, now pay attention, everybody.
Yes, sir.
Walker, Jones.
Stop.
Leave that rocket gun alone. Come over here, please. Now then, there's no doubt at all that GHQ will rush weapons to us just as soon as they can get their hands on them. In the meantime, we must press our ingenuity into service.
What have you in mind, Mannering?
At the top of every hill, we're going to station drums of old sump oil. At the first sign of emergency, we're going to spread it all over the road. You can imagine the result. If the enemy transport can't get a grip on the road surface, his whole war effort will grind to a halt.
Commissioner speaks up.
Yes, Jones?
Why don't we all have packets of tin tacks to put on the road as well?
Excellent, Jones. Punctured vehicles won't travel far, will they? As one more thing. We're not leaving here...
Excuse me, Mr. Mannering. I've done it.
Thank you, Pike. What have you done?
I've cleared the ports in the rocket gun.
Oh, good. Well done.
Yeah, the fuse powder's fizzing away beautifully.
Splendid. Now, I was about to say, we're not leaving here... What did you say?
I said the fuse powder's fizzing away very nicely now, look.
Look out, sir. I think it's going to go up.
Everyone down on the floor.
Get out.
It's like Guy Fawkes night, isn't it, Uncle Arthur?
Yes, it's awfully pretty. I don't think the vicar's going to be very pleased about that mark on his ceiling.
Where's that, Jones?
Down there by your foot.
Fancy those rockets going off after all those years.
Yes, damn clever, those Chinese. Thank goodness they're on our side.
In that episode of Dad's Army, from the original television series by Jimmy Perry and David Croft, you heard Arthur Lowe as Captain Mannering, John LeMessurier, Sergeant Wilson, Clive Dunn, Corporal Jones, John Lorry, Private Fraser, James Beck, Private Walker, Ian Lavender, Private Pike, and Eric Woodburn as George Jones. Museum Piece was adapted for radio by Harold Snowd and Michael Knowles and produced by John Dias.
The following show is called 4 Joneses and a Jenkins.
We present 4 Joneses and a Jenkins by Sue Lynn. An everyday story of sheep, sin and scholarship under the shadow of the Long Mynd. Episode 3. Pulling out all the stops.
Oh, crikey, Megan, what are you doing down there on the floor?
Sweeping up crumbs.
Oh, crumbs from the master's table, eh?
Mr. Jenkins has gone to Llantysilio to get some more paraffin.
I thought you were a dog for a moment. You startled me. I'm not really inclined to the canine.
Oh, I'm glad Mr. Jenkins keeps his blasted pointer safely shut in.
So am I.
Oh, excuse me, Megan.
Oh, been having a bit of a lie-in. After all, it is Saturday. Puffed wheat will be fine. If you bring me a couple of pieces of bread, I'll toast them.
Well, it's nice to come down.
Nice to come down to a blazing fire on a cold winter's morning.
It's taken me half an hour to get it roaring like that.
Oh, jolly good. Saturday morning. Oh, blasted mixed infants and juniors for 48 hours.
You seem quite contented for a change. Here's the toasting fork.
Contented? Oh, no. No, I wouldn't go as far as that. It's strange, you know. Last night, I dreamed I went to Bolsover again. With somebody, well, I don't know who, but she looked a bit like Princess Margaret.
Jam or marmalade?
Oh, jam, please. And then, well, I don't know how, somehow we were on the bus to Chesterfield.
There's your tea, 2 sugars.
And you know what? When we got to Chesterfield, I was in the marketplace, and then suddenly I just sort of rose up in the air and hovered over everybody's heads. And guess what? The crooked spire straightened.
The butter's on the table.
Yeah, I reckon there's a bit of symbolism there, you know.
You're puffed wheat. Anything else you need? Or can I carry on sweeping up the crumbs?
See, I think to dream of levitation probably betrays a subconscious desire to shine, to excel, to achieve. Yeah. What do you think, Megan?
I expect you're right. I'll just carry on sweeping then.
Megan?
What?
Do you think I'm a fish out of water here in Llantysilio? Do you think I'm tragically struggling in obscurity?
Oh, you!
Beg your pardon?
That's all you ever think about. What about me?
What about you?
I still haven't heard from Oxford. I know they're going to reject me now. I keep longing for the postman to come and yet dreading it.
Oh, dear. Don't worry about the sweeping. Just go home early if you like. I'll tell Mr. Jenkins you weren't well.
I'm perfectly well.
Look, you'll probably feel better if you go home and talk to your mother.
But I want to talk to you. You are the only person round here who has the faintest inkling of what I'm going through. You've been to Oxford.
Yes, but to be honest, I think it was a bit overrated. My college smelt of disinfectant, and the sausages were a disgrace.
Oh, God. I keep going over my interview in my head. I should never have pretended I'd read Samson Agonistes. All I knew was that one line, dark, 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 amid the blaze of noon. Oh, I've been a complete idiot. Oh, God. I'm going home. I can't bear it.
Oh, well, I suppose that means I can kiss my soft-boiled egg goodbye.
Oh, Megan. Well, you're back early from Mr. Jenkins's.
Did the postman come whilst I was out?
Are you expecting anything in particular, Megan?
It's the results of her exam, isn't it?
All your so-called brilliant eggheads, and they still haven't invented a cure for the common cold. Oh, damn and blast this blinking blessed thing. Whoever invented Qatar needs his head examining.
Oh, here comes Owen now with the letters. He must have met the postman in the lane. I'm surprised you didn't meet him again.
I ran home over the fields.
Oh, I see.
Jones the post says it feels like snow, and don't forget prayer week at the chapel starts tomorrow.
As if I would forget prayer week. I eat, drink and breathe chapel, as you very well know.
Anything for me, Owen?
What do you mean? I gave you some sugared almonds for Christmas. What more do you want?
The letters.
Oh, crikey. Oh, sorry. No, I was miles away. I was thinking of haddock.
You should be thinking about mastitis if you had a brain in your head. Give them here.
Anything for me?
No bills, mostly.
Oh, never mind, Megan. I let you paint the lino in the scullery this afternoon.
Oh, I was hoping to read Samson Agonistes.
Oh, well, tomorrow then. My lino's so shabby.
You could always see your face in my mother's lino.
Ma'am, can we have some haddock one day soon?
We had a tin of salmon last Sunday, when there's no need to push the boat out.
Dear God in heaven.
But I'll do you some pilchards for tea, if you're a good boy.
Mr. Baldwin Jones of the Hill House, Calsus, has died. Dear, oh dear.
Was that the old man with the eyebrows?
Very fine man, Megan. He taught me the meaning of self-sacrifice.
With onions?
Shh.
They want you to play the organ for the funeral, Megan.
Where's the burial?
Chapel on the hill.
Oh, that's a cold old place. I heard they were planning to have one of those crematoriums over in Aberystwyth. Now, that'll be nice, won't it?
I'm sick of spam.
You may have your head turned by a crematorium, Sarah, but I wouldn't be seen dead in one.
Well, I was only thinking it would be nice and cosy for the mourners, especially at this time of year. Well, you don't want to be standing around an open grave in an east wind. You'd catch your death.
Pneumonia it was. Poor old Baldwin. How's my mother?
Oh, she's fine.
I didn't like the look of her this morning. I'll just pop up and have a word. She'll be sad to hear about Baldwin. They used to go carol singing together when they were children.
I've got to go down to Newtown today, Mr. Bootle, so I've made you a packed lunch.
Oh, thank you very much.
Cheese and pickle. That's nice and vegetarian, isn't it?
Oh, I wonder if you'd mind getting me something for the flatulence.
Oh, certainly. Mrs. Jenkins used to swear by moorland tablets. Moorland
How is
tablets.
Mrs. Jenkins?
Oh, she's having a lovely time. She sent me a picture postcard of a Mountie last week.
Oh, yes, I saw it on the mantelpiece. Well, you must miss her.
Well, to tell you the truth, it's more a case of while the cat's away. I'm casting covetous eyes at a Nissen hut at the moment.
Oh, really?
It's got sentimental associations as well, actually. Mrs. Jenkins and I did our courting in that Nissen hut.
Yes. Yeah, I can imagine there's something quite romantic about corrugated iron. Oh, has the post been?
No. Bit later, usually, isn't it? Are you expecting something special?
Well, there's a possibility of an official communication from Bucks.
Official, eh? Not a little billet-doux, perhaps?
Oh, no, nothing like that.
Megan's not got anything to worry about, then?
Well, she told me she made a bit of a hash of Paradise Lost.
Oh, dear. Well, I'm sure she couldn't have asked for a better tutor than you. What with your being an Oxford man yourself.
Oh, goodness, 2:45. Well, I must go.
And what treasures of knowledge are you going to bestow on our lucky little infants and juniors today?
Well, first I'm going to ask them to draw a string of sausages.
Oh.
Then I thought we might try and get our teeth into the Gobi Desert.
Ah, good, good. Marvellous thing, isn't it? Education!
Owen? Owen, are you up there?
What?
It's only me. Dad's looking for you. He wants you to harrow the hazel field.
In a minute.
I wondered if you could just take me to Jenkins on the motorbike first. I'm late, see, because Mam wanted some help with the mangling.
Look at this lovely photo I got.
Who's it of?
It's Humphrey Bogart and Florence Marley in Tokyo Joe.
Oh, Humphrey Bogart's handsome, isn't he? But I think I still prefer Ludwig van Beethoven. He's got a miasma of torment, which I think is reflected in his late quartets.
Where is Tokyo, anyway?
The capital of Japan. Wonder if we'll ever go there.
Oh, I wouldn't want to go there myself. I don't suppose the custard would be up to much.
Don't you love the sound of it, though? Tokyo, Paris, Rome, New York.
What's the matter?
Oh, what if I don't get to Oxford?
Oh, never mind. Hey, perhaps Mrs. Jenkins will send you a postcard of Winnipeg.
Oh, but I want to get away and make something of my life. I want to go to concerts in the Wigmore Hall. I want to patronise the British Museum. I want to stroll down the Champs-Élysées with an annotated Racine in my hand.
Well, look on the bright side. Perhaps it'll snow. That always makes it look like somewhere else.
Not much washing up today, owing to Mr. Jenkins being in Newtown, but here's a dirty cup.
Thank you. Oh, nearly dropped it. I'm in such a state. I'm a nervous wreck.
Oh, so am I. I lie awake at night going over things in my head.
What have you got to worry about? You've been to Oxford, Brian. You've got a degree and you've started out in your career.
Ah, but is it the right one? Or is it at variance with my nature?
But that kind of anxiety is a luxury compared with my dilemma, isn't it? If I don't get a place at Oxford, I'm stuck here forever.
Oh, God, yes, I know what you mean.
Do you?
Oh, yes, I sympathise. And if even you find it limiting and parochial, imagine how I must feel.
What do you mean?
Well, Mr. Jenkins has had to drive 7 miles just to find a shop or two.
Aren't you happy here, then?
Well, I've got to be honest. I've just applied for a job in Stony Stratford.
What?
I'm waiting to hear if I've got an interview.
So you'll be leaving?
If I get the job, yes. Starts at Easter.
Easter? So soon?
Yes, I've got to admit it. I'm looking forward to finding myself back in civilization. Nice little flat above the co-op, perhaps, so fingers crossed.
Civilization? How can you say such a thing?
What?
You said it was limiting and parochial here. But it's the most beautiful place in the world.
I never said it wasn't beautiful.
The song of the larks, the curlews calling over the lonely lake, the smell of wood smoke, the melancholy sigh of fir trees around the chapel. Doesn't it make your heart soar and sing?
Oh, well, granted, that is...
We are a nation of poets and visionaries. You are a nation of shopkeepers. A flat above the co-op. Is that all you can aspire to? You should be ashamed.
Hello. Hope I'm not intruding. Are you having a play reading? It sounded a bit like Bernard Shaw.
Well, I must get back. I hope you haven't misunderstood my misgivings about Montgomeryshire, Megan.
No, I don't think I have.
Well, perhaps we can talk again tomorrow. Excuse me. I've got to take the register. Music this afternoon. I'm going to try and expose them to the Ash Grove.
Now, what's upset you, Megan? Has Mr. Bootle made any unwelcome suggestions?
Oh, no, nothing like that. How was your trip to Newtown?
Very enjoyable, thank you. I got some emulsion for my cockerel's legs.
What's wrong with him?
I don't think you've had a close look at my lovely old Rhode Island Red, have you?
Yes, I always throw him the bacon rind.
I don't suppose you could come and give me a hand in the hen house, could you, my dear? I was thinking you could hold him while I paint his legs.
Sorry, I got to go and practice for the funeral.
Ah, of course.
Oh, look, it's snowing.
Beautiful, isn't it? Mr. Bootle will have to let the children go home early.
Oh, yes, we used to pray for snow when I was at the school.
And what do you pray for now?
I don't pray much these days. I'm not sure if God exists.
And what about Satan? Can't you just sometimes feel him breathing down your neck?
No. Excuse me, Mr. Jenkins. I've got to go.
Oh, well, see you at the funeral then. I'm looking forward to it.
There you are, Owen. I've pressed your suit for tomorrow, and I'll hang it on the rail upstairs.
Oh, thanks, ma'am. I finished my shoes now. Can I go and play dominoes?
No, love, no. It's Sunday. Your father's coming downstairs now.
My mother's entertaining gloomy thoughts.
Well, that's natural. What's with the funeral and everything, isn't it?
She says she'll never see another swallow.
Oh, she'll outlive us all.
I told Megan to keep her company up there for a bit, but she's no good. Got her head stuck in some book. And it's not the Bible either.
Excuse me?
Where do you think you're going, pray?
Pray? What, now?
Oh, don't be cheeky, Owen.
I wasn't. I just thought I'd go and have a lie down.
Don't have a lie down at 7:30 on a Sunday evening. You blinking well sit down here with me and do some studying. Lie down, indeed.
You're not sickening for anything, are you, Owen?
Stop fussing, woman.
Well, there's mumps in Bulchafried.
I'm going to get some sheep breeding into your head if it's the last thing I do. Now, how would you recognise a cheviot?
Are your glands up, Owen? Now, let me feel your neck.
Oh, get off, man.
Leave us alone, Sarah. I'm trying to get the first principles of sheep breeding into the head of this son of yours. God knows what'll happen after I'm gone. This place will go to rack and ruin.
Oh, shush, don't talk like that.
Listen to me now, Owen. What's this a description on, It has a clean face, slate brown in colour, with a slight covering of wool over the top of the head. The ears are upright. Well?
Sounds a bit like Nana.
Right, that's it. Get out of my sight. Go to your room. I don't want to see hide nor hair of you till it's time to go to the funeral. A half-witted son and a blasted blinking blue stocking of a daughter. Don't talk to me about breeding.
There, John. We all have a cross to bear.
Rugged cross, I will ever be true. Its shame and reproach gladly bear.
Dear Lord in heaven, I'm really sorry I doubted thy existence yesterday, but I saw a snowflake today that put it all into perspective. Oh, God, be flat, not be natural, you idiot. Sorry, God. Look, the thing is, I'm desperate to go to Oxford. If only I do get a place, it'll be a miracle, because I made a complete hash of Paradise Lost. Oh, just let me get in, Lord. Then I shall know you exist.
At the start of this week of prayer, let us pray for the soul of Maldwyn Jones and for all who mourn. Our Father.
Our Father, which art in heaven. I'd just like to put in a good word for my mother, Elizabeth Jones of Aberpant Farm, Llantysilio, Montgomeryshire. I beg thee, O Lord, to preserve her and keep her safe from these blinking epidemics that sweep the land, which have carried away thy servant Maldwyn Jones, a fine man, and a JP. And if it be thy will, Lord, on another subject entirely, if I may, that old tractor of ours is just about on its last legs. If you could just see your way to...
Could we have some fish and chips for dinner one day soon, Lord? But if I've only got one wish, I'd like my sister to get a place at Oxford. She can't help being clever, Lord, so for God's sake, give her a break, eh?
Amen.
12, and here they are on the dot. They'll be perished. Come and warm yourselves. Owen, let me feel your hands. Oh, they're blue.
Wonderful funeral. Inspiring. Maldwyn would have loved it.
Did the organ go all right, Megan?
Oh, no, I made a complete hash of it. Has a letter come for me, ma'am?
Yes, I forgot all about it. There it is on the dresser.
Oh, thanks. I'll take it upstairs.
And Megan, while you're up there, see how my mother is.
What's for dinner?
Alphabet soup and semolina.
Oh, lovely.
Yes. Now, let's see what you can spell today, love.
I had a word with Minnie Jones, the guest house, after. She told me Jones the bull has lost his bees.
No.
It broke loose yesterday and had to be shot.
Oh, dear. And he sired generations of our calves. Almost like a death in the family, isn't it?
And guess what? William Jones, the co-op, was fined £5 and his licence suspended for being drunk in charge of a motorbike last week.
Oh, dear. Well, he was spoilt by his auntie, of course.
Yeah.
There's your soup now. Megan, dinner's on the table.
Oh, can I have the crust?
All right, then. All right, Megan.
Yes.
Any news?
No.
How's my mother?
Oh, well, she was having gloomy thoughts again whilst you were all at the funeral. She says she wants a sloping headpiece in Yorkshire stone.
Pass the salt.
She won't be making her maker yet a while if I have anything to do with it.
Soup, Megan?
No, thanks, ma'am. I'm not hungry.
Well, it's alphabet soups. See, educational.
Don't mention education at the moment, ma'am, if you don't mind.
Dear.
Look at these letters. I got B-O in my soup.
Oh, not now, Owen. Quiet.
Why's Megan crying?
She's not.
No, I'm fine.
B-O-M. Oh, pity it wasn't a U. Then I could say there's a bum in my soup.
Owen, stop it.
Why does soup smell like armpits?
Who's this now?
Oh, it's Jenkins bring cock with that schoolmaster chap. Oh.
What the blinking heck does he want now? You can't even have your dinner in peace on the day of a funeral.
Come in.
Good afternoon, Mrs. Jones.
Good afternoon.
I hope you're well. And Mrs. Jones upstairs?
Yes, thank you, Mr. Jenkins. Hello, Mr. Buttle.
Hello, Mrs. Jones.
Sit you down by the fire. Would you like a cup of tea?
No, thank you. We're not stopping. I just brought Mr. Bootle over to ask a favour.
Yes, I got a letter in the post this morning. I've been granted an interview at a school in Stony Stratford.
Oh, no. Congratulations.
Oh, thank you. I was just wondering, Owen, whether you might have some Brill cream I could borrow.
Oh, yes, he has. Now, run up and fetch it, Owen.
Well, job interviews, is it, Mr. Bootle? I like to see a young man with ambition, don't you, Mr. Jenkins?
Oh, yes. I was just saying to Mr. Bootle on the way here, you've got nothing to fear if you just be yourself.
Be yourself? Oh, what good is that? Look them straight in the eye, man, like Lord Kitchener in the old poster.
Lord Kitchener?
Straight back. Hands out of the pockets. No slouching.
Show an interest. Always ask questions. Make them see you're a good listener.
Oh, yes. Well, I've got no worries on that score. I've always been a good listener, haven't I, Megan?
What?
Megan, back up. Always in a dream.
Well, Mr. Bootle, I wish you luck. And if you want my opinion, you'll leave Owen's blasted Brill cream alone.
No, don't be an old stick in the mud, Mr. Jones. Cricketers wear it, and very smart they look too. And what about Clark Gable?
Yes, but Dennis Compton. We'll never agree about Brill cream, Mr. Jenkins.
No.
If you'll excuse me now, I'll just go upstairs for a moment and have a word with my mother. I want to nip this headstone in the bud.
And I'll make some fresh tea, just in case anyone changes their mind.
Thank you. Well. Interviews and things. Exciting, isn't it? Have you heard from Oxford yet, Megan?
Yes. I had a letter today. No luck.
Oh, no. I'm sorry.
Oh, I thought as much. Never mind, love. There's always a Bristow.
It must have been paradise lost, mustn't it, Brian?
Well, I don't know. You were quite shaky on your metaphysicals as well as I recall.
Oh, don't be too downhearted, Megan. You can try again next year.
Well, they did say they would like me to.
There you are. Another year of coaching and you'll fly in, mark my words.
But how can I get any coaching? Brian's going off to Stony Stratford without even a backward look.
Oh, I wouldn't say that.
Yes, you are. You don't give two hoots about me and my exam.
Megan, stop it or you'll have to go upstairs.
I don't care. I'm no good. I'm a blinking failure.
Oh, come on, Megan. Even if Mr. Bootle goes off to Stony Stratford, we'll all support you. Won't we, Mrs. Jones?
Oh, of course we will. If it helps, we'll get alphabet soup in French.
And think what you can achieve by yourself with another year of study.
Study? When can I ever find time for study? I failed the blinking exam because of the goose fair.
Well, I wouldn't say that exactly.
Oh, it's true. Instead of reading Women in Love, I had to spend all night plucking.
One night couldn't have made all that much difference, surely.
It's always the same. What about the last 2 days? I've had to help Mam with the mangling, wash up, do the iron, paint the lino in the scullery and practice the organ for the funeral, when all the time I was dying to get cracking with Bruce.
Now, calm down, Megan. Control yourself. Shh. Now, would you like a Turkish delight, Mr. Jenkins?
Oh, no, thank you. This is important, you know. I feel we've all been overworking poor little Megan.
Oh, well, all right then, Megan. I won't ask you to do any housework from now on. You can go up to your room and study.
I can't concentrate up there. I have to share Nana's room. She's always either snoring or coughing or talking about people who died. It's driving me mad.
Megan, that's enough. If your father hears you, he'll give you what's for.
Here's the Brill cream, Brian.
Oh, thanks.
And do you want to borrow my two-piece double-breasted chalk-striped flannel suit?
No, thank you. No, I think I fall a bit short of you in the torso department.
I'm going out.
Are you all right, Megan?
She's failed her little exam, that's all.
Oh, blast. I don't think there's a God after all. Oh, never mind, Megan. I'll take you for a ride on my sledge.
The snow is all melted. I'm going out to get some air.
Meg! Megan! Oh, look, I know you're upset. Only, I got a little bit of advice for you.
What?
I've always known you were the clever one and I was the blinking idiot.
Oh, don't exaggerate.
No, listen. Since you've started trying to get to university, you've tried to get cleverer and cleverer, and it's made you miserable as sin, isn't it?
Well?
It's just... I know I'm stupid. And if I pretend to be even stupider, people leave me alone.
So what?
I'm happy. I can do what I like. It's great. Oh, you should try it sometime.
So, you think I should try and get to university by pretending to be stupid?
Yeah, why not? Give it a whirl, sister.
My God, Owen, what do you think I am, an idiot?
Yeah, that's the right idea. You're getting the hang of it now.
Megan, I've had an idea. May I have a word with you?
Of course, Mr. Jenkins. Don't leave me alone with him.
It's all right. I'll just go off and scratch my piglet.
Listen, Megan, I've just managed to acquire a Nissen hut, and I'm going to erect it behind my hay barn.
Oh.
Well, if you like, you can use it as your own little study.
Really?
Yes. I don't immediately need it for any agricultural purposes.
Oh, well, that's very kind of you, Mr. Jenkins.
You can shut yourself in there, all cosy with the paraffin heater, and study till you're blue in the face.
I don't want to be any trouble.
No trouble at all. And perhaps once in a while, I'll bring my bills and letters in, and you can have a look at my ledgers.
Oh, all right.
So it's a deal then?
Yes, thank you very much.
Shall we shake on it then? Oh, lovely warm little paws.
Megan! My mother wants you to play Nearer My God to Thee.
Ah, one of my favourites too. Nearer to Thee. See you soon then, Megan.
Nearer my God to Thee. Jones, and Jenkins was written by Sue Lim.
Ysgrifennwyd Jones a Jenkins gan Sue Lim.
The cast was Geoffrey Whitehead as Mr. Jones.
Yr actorion oedd Geoffrey Whitehead fel Mr. Jones,
Elizabeth Miles as Ma Jones.
Elizabeth Miles fel Ma Jones,
Rebecca Front as Megan Jones.
Rebecca Front fel Megan Jones,
Matthew Morgan as Owen Jones.
Matthew Morgan fel Owen Jones,
Nicholas Grace as Mr. Jenkins.
Nicholas Grace fel Mr. Jenkins,
Michael Fenton Stevens as Bootle.
Michael Fenton Stevens fel Bootle.
It was recorded on location at Houghton Court, Bodenham.
Fe recordwyd ar leoliad yn Houghton Court, Bodenham.
The production team was Jerry Peel, Alison Mackenzie, Marika Good, and Jonathan James Moore.
Y tîm cynhyrchu oedd Jerry Peel, Alison Mackenzie, Marika Good a Jonathan James Moore.
Here's an oldie for you. It's called Life Around the Edges.
We present Dora Bryan and Sidney James with Pat Coombs and Derek Lanyon in a comedy about life round at the Edges house. In other words, it's simply Sid and Dora. Sid and Dora have always entertained their families and friends at Christmas, but this year everyone decided to return the compliment. So a week before Christmas, 14 separate invitations arrived.
But, Mum, all those invitations. Sid absolutely refuses to do a whistle-stop tour. Well, it may be all right for Mr. Wilson and Mr. Heath, but Sid says he couldn't care less about his public image. Did you get our Christmas card? What did you think of the little fat cherub on the front with the... Oh, a bit rude. Oh. We sent 60 cards and we've already got 20 back. Yes, 19 from people we didn't send one to. What? Oh, Uncle Charlie sent us a reading lamp. The one we sent him last year. And Aunt May was giving us the fruit dish we gave Aunt Maud 2 years ago. Still, it shows everything's going round, doesn't it? There's someone at the door, ma'am. I'll have to ring off now. I'll do my best to talk Sid into it, yes. Bye-bye, dear. Come in. Merry Christmas. Here's 5 shillings for you.
So you're keeping another man, are you?
Oh, Sid. I thought you were the paper boy and that was your Christmas box.
Then give me what I'd get if I was the milkman.
Well.
Yes. Now pretend I'm delivering cream.
Oh, that'll do. I only ordered 1 bottle today. You're home early. What's happened?
I had the wind behind me. I see you've been talking to your mother again.
Sid, how on earth did you know that?
You've moved the sofa next to the phone.
She rang me. She paid for the call.
Oh, that must have been very important.
Well, she wouldn't ring all the way from Manchester for nothing, would she?
No. Cost her at least 10 shillings.
Without a reason, I mean. After all, she is my mother and I am her daughter, and it's only a week off Christmas, so we'll soon have everything on top of us, and after all, blood's thicker than water.
Eh?
I said blood's thicker than water.
Depends whose blood it is.
Look, do you want to hear what my mum said, or don't you?
No, but I'm going to.
Well...
Now, before you begin, let's get one thing straight. We are not travelling 10,000 miles just to nibble your mother's turkey.
Oh, don't be so silly. It's only Lancashire.
It's too far. I mean, Camden Town's only a 9-penny bus ride.
Camden Town? If we're going away for Christmas, why on earth pick Camden Town?
Because my cousin Joe lives there. So it wouldn't be much use going to spend Christmas with him in Woking.
Well, he ought to live in Woking. I mean, there's nothing wrong with Woking, is
Dora,
there?
when I said
a lot
Woking...
of people who live there like it. Besides, you never asked me if I'd like to go to your cousin Joe's.
I mentioned it about a week ago.
It was a fortnight ago. And you didn't mention it at all.
I did.
No, you did not. Anyway, what have you did? I mean, you only mentioned it, didn't you? I never said I'd go, did I?
All right. So, out of 14 invitations, it boils down to a straight fight between your mother and Joe.
Yes.
Now, your mother lives in Lancashire, Joe lives here. Now, what do you suggest we do?
Well, we could all meet in Birmingham and fight it out there.
Dora, I love you. I think you're a wonderful wife.
I still want to go to Lancashire.
Then I think you're a twit.
Oh, you. It's a good job for you there's somebody at the door. Merry Christmas. Here's 5 shillings for you.
Oh, now, isn't that kind of you?
Oh, I didn't know it was you, Mrs. Harris. Do come in.
This card of yours was pushed through our letterbox by mistake. It has a very nice verse in it.
Oh, has it? Thank you. It's from the Johnsons, Sid. Santa, quiet as a mouse, crept into the silent house. There was not a soul about. He crept in and then crept out.
Blimey. They cleaned that one up all right.
I really just called to see if you'd pay my insurance agent for me.
Oh, we'd be glad to. I mean, if you're really that hard up. Sid's very soft-hearted. I'm sure he'll lend you.
I've got the money, Mrs. Edge, and the book.
Oh, sorry.
I just said I'd leave them with you because we'd be out when he called.
Oh, yes. Thank you very much. We don't mind a bit. No, sorry.
Lovely. I do hope I haven't interrupted anything.
No, we were trying to agree where to go for Christmas. We've got so many invitations this year.
Yes, I see. He wants to go to one place and you're going to tell him he ought to go somewhere else.
If I did, I'm sure he won't want to spend Christmas there.
Me and my hubby never have any differences. He always tries to please me.
I know. I've seen him in his apron.
Of course, I know he's 1 in a million, but we can't all be lucky, can we, Mrs. Edge?
No, we all have our burdens.
Thank you.
Shall I tell you something, Mr. Edge? Every single morning, my hubby brings me breakfast in bed.
Fancy. Now, why don't you do that, Sid?
All right, love. Well, look, a right Charlie up in next door in my pyjamas every morning carrying a plate of porridge.
Sid!
Yeah, all right.
Look, why don't you both come and spend Christmas with me and my hubby?
Eh? Christmas? Yes. Yes, well, it's a pity, that is, because we've already arranged to go to Dora's mother in Manchester.
Well, if you're
thank you very much for the offer. Very nice of it. Now, don't worry about your insurance. Good night, Mrs. Harris.
Oh, good night.
Yeah, good night. Blimey, that was close. I never ever thought your mother would rescue me.
Hello? Hello? Quick, trunks, please. I to Manchester.
Hang on, wait a minute. Now, just a minute. No, you don't.
But Sid, you just said we were going to my mother's.
Yes, I know. Well, that was sheer desperation because we were facing a fate worse than death. You were happy for a minute, weren't you?
Then you don't mean it, or you've gone and deceived me, you have. You don't love me anymore.
Of course I love you anymore. It's just Mrs. Harris and her lily white henpeck I don't love anymore.
Oh, isn't that sweet? Now, you're going to ask me to go to Cousin Joe's, and I am going to say no.
Why?
Well, you know you've always said a woman should never give in without a struggle.
What has that got to do with Christmas parties?
Oh, you'd be surprised.
Now, look here, love. To save time, trouble, travelling and tantrums, why don't we settle on Cousin Joe's, eh? He's got a smashing sense of humour.
Yes, I remember him putting custard in the electric fan at your sister's wedding.
Yes. Yes. Well, he'd had a couple, hadn't he? Well, he was all right last Christmas. He was a life of the party.
No wonder. He was the only one who could talk louder than the television set.
I'll turn it up. Look, we are not going to get anywhere like this. You want to go to Manchester, and I want to go to Camden Town.
And we're still miles apart.
Yes, 200 miles. Somebody at the door. Here's 5 shillings. Go and answer it.
Funny. Oh, Mrs. Harris.
Oh, sorry to trouble your game, Mrs. Edge, but you did say you was going to Manchester for Christmas.
Well,
I told my hubby, and he wondered if you'd drop this parcel in at his brother's.
Oh, well, we would, but you see, we can't because we're not. We've changed our minds. We're going to Sid's cousins in Camden Town.
Oh, well, that's all right. We'll post it then. Good night.
Good night.
Hello. What's the matter with this phone operator? I want Camden Town 324...
Sydney Edge, don't you dare use that phone.
Oh, that's a smashing bit of nosh that was, love.
All the meals are like that in Lancashire.
I'll ignore that. Here, I'll tell you one thing. They always say you should never fight on a full stomach.
Good.
Dear, oh dear, what a cook. Here, will you promise me something?
Depends what it is.
If ever you leave me for another man, can I come round for my meals?
Oh, that's a lovely compliment there.
Oh, hey, Plum, if that is Mrs. Harris with a parcel for Camden Town, tell her we're going to the Canary Islands. Now, wait a minute. Leave it to me. That's enough. That's enough. Here you are.
Oh, they were very good, dear. Why did you stop them?
I didn't want the battery to run down.
What?
I have now seen everything. Carol singing with a portable tape recorder.
Oh, well, perhaps the regulars were resting.
Resting?
Well, they've been at it since the end of October.
Maybe you spoke too soon. You listen to this. I'll soon fix this lot. Right, here's a tenner. No miming. Let's have it live.
I beg your pardon. I've called for Mrs. Harris.
You're too late. Her husband's got her.
Who is it, Sid?
Oh, is that your wife?
If it's not, mate, I'm paying a hell of a lot for my lodgings.
Mrs. Harris said she'd leave her insurance.
Hey, oh, yes, insurance. You shouldn't be collecting it, mate. You should be drawing it. Dora, insurance.
Oh, yes, love, it's in the sideboard drawer.
Hang on a minute, will you?
Sid, I can't open the drawer. It's stuck.
Here, let me have a go. Blimey, this stiff, isn't it? What have you got in it? Treacle?
Pull on both handles together.
Right. Ow. God, blimey, how long's it been like this?
Ever since you said you'd fix it last October.
Hasn't wintered very well. Come on, give me a hand with it. Now, pull.
Oh, look, we might do better if we did a little less oohing and a bit more pulling.
Yes, all right, now together. You ready? Pull. Well, that's got the handles. Now, all we need now is a drawer.
I think I'd better bring that man in.
I am quite capable of opening a drawer.
Out of the cold, I meant.
Oh, yes. Yes, he doesn't look too healthy.
Would you come in, please?
Oh, thanks.
The drawer's stuck.
Oh, is it?
Yes.
Perhaps something's stopping it from opening.
That is marvellous. Absolutely marvellous. I would never have thought of that.
Could you get underneath and push it from the back?
No. Could you?
No, I don't think so.
Well, that settles that, doesn't it?
What about margarine, dear?
Margarine?
Well, I remember seeing a little boy with his head stuck through some railings
Go on.
once.
Yeah.
Well, his mother rubbed margarine behind his ears and he just slid out.
Oh, blimey.
It might be just one little thing in the middle that's stopping
Yeah,
it.
probably.
I've seen this thing happen before.
Well, now you've seen it happen again. Let's give it a big tug. Come on. What was that?
I'm afraid the clock's gone.
If it has, it'll be the first time it's gone for years.
Yeah, I know what's happened. Some idiot has shoved something in this drawer that should never have been put in a drawer.
It's that pewter tankard you won at darts, dear.
Yeah, well, that must have rolled over or something. I'll get a knife. Press it down.
That's a good idea.
Here's a better one. Would you mind putting your fountain pen away? You just stuck it in the back of my neck. I'll go and get a knife, Dora.
Oh, dear, I am sorry about all this. Really, I am.
Oh, that's all right, madam. While we're waiting, perhaps I could interest you in an endowment policy.
Oh, no, I shouldn't bother.
Oh, it's no bother at all. Now, say we took a policy on your husband.
Right, now let's have a go with this knife.
Of course, if anything happened to your husband, you'd be the drawer.
What's he say?
I'll be the drawer.
I wish you were. I'd rather wrestle with you than this thing. Hang on. It's coming. And it's not my tankard. It's shutting.
No, Sid, no. Shut it quickly. Don't look inside, please.
For crying out loud, what's the matter with you? I nearly ruptured myself prizing it open. And you slammed it shut again.
Well, I'd forgotten. You see, your Christmas present's in there. It's unlucky to see it before Christmas.
Well, now you jammed the drawer again. I'll be lucky if I see it before next Christmas.
It's very funny, Sid.
Yes, I suppose it is when you come to think about it.
I think so,
I mean, you've got to have a sense of humour, haven't you?
Especially when you don't know what I'm laughing at.
Yeah. Well, go on, then, tell us what you're laughing at.
The insurance book.
Yes.
I just remembered.
Yeah, go on.
It isn't in the drawer.
Isn't it in the drawer?
No. I put it in the vase on the mantelpiece.
Oh, blimey, women. That you, Joe? Sit here. Look, I got Dora out of the way. In the bath. No, not submerged, you twit. It's my only chance to talk to you without her knowing. Now then, about Christmas. She's boxing clever. Every time I mention it, she starts talking about our summer holidays. It's like sitting on a time bomb. But don't worry, mate. We will be with you at Christmas.
Yes, Mum, I've got Sid in the bath. What? No, we haven't got a phone in the bathroom. No, he's having a good old scrub. Well, what else would he be doing in the bath? Oh, Mum, please, I know you're not interested in Sid's habits, clean or otherwise, but I'm phoning while he's in the bath because he phoned his cousin Joe while I was in the bath. I crept downstairs and I heard him. What? Of course I've got a towel around me. Oh, Mum, really? Don't worry, though. I'll get him to come up to Manchester for Christmas, you see. Oh, I just heard the bedroom door. Sid's going to bed. I better ring off now, love. Bye-bye, dear. Bye. Oh, fancy, you're in bed already. How long have you been there?
Huh? Half an hour.
Oh, marvellous. You only got in the bath 20 minutes ago.
Oh. Did you do everything that I have had to do if I hadn't been lost in the bath?
Yes, I've locked up, turned the boiler down, rinsed the milk bottles and put the cat out.
Good. Wait a minute. We haven't got a cat.
Oh, I put somebody's cat out.
Good night.
Oh, is that all? Are you going to kiss me good night?
You should have thought of that before you hopped into your bed.
Don't you want to kiss me?
What, from here? You married a man, not a giraffe.
Well, you could lean over, couldn't you?
All right. Good night.
Good night, dear.
Did you fill the kettle?
Yes.
Set the table?
Yes.
Phone your mother?
Yes. Oh. Oh, you haven't been in bed for half an hour at all. You were listening.
Well, you listened to me when I phoned Cousin Joe.
How'd you know I did?
There was a puddle of bathwater at the foot of the stairs.
Sid, on the phone, you said that we were going to your Cousin Joe's.
That's right, and you said we were going to your mother's. So let's fight it out in the morning.
Sid, are you awake?
No, I'm asleep.
You can't be asleep. You're talking.
I'm talking to me sleep.
You have been thinking.
We can't afford it.
About Christmas.
Oh, not again. Why don't you go to sleep?
I can't sleep.
Don't watch me. It's dead easy.
I'm not going to sleep until we've sorted Christmas out.
It's already been sorted out. Why do you think they invented chimneys?
Oh, you know what I mean. It's not been sorted out for us.
Then let's sort it out in the morning. Now, do you mind? Can I try and get some shut-eye?
Yes.
Good.
Try, by all means.
Thanks.
But I won't let you get any.
Oh, for crying out loud.
I'm sorry, dear, but I'm adamant.
You what?
I'm adamant. I don't know what it means either, but that's what I am.
All right. We'll go round to your mother's.
You're going to make up your mind once and for all.
We'll go round to your mother's.
It's no good disagreeing.
I'm not disagreeing. I haven't said a word.
No, but you're lying there with an aggravated look on your face.
I want to go to your mother's.
What?
I said I want to go to your mother's.
You want to?
More than anything in the world.
Oh, Sid. Oh, and you decided all by yourself. And I never even asked you.
Oh, good night. Huh? What's that? Hey. Oh, bloody, what's the matter with this alarm clock? I can't shut it off. Dora, what's the matter with this clock here?
Try answering the phone.
Eh? Oh, yeah, the phone. Hello. Who? It's Sally Metcalf for you.
It can't be. She hasn't even got a phone.
Oh.
And she'd never go out to a phone box at 8 o'clock on a Sunday morning.
Perhaps she got through on Telstar. Take it.
I haven't seen her for 3 years. What am I going to say?
Hello, might help. Here.
Hello? Hello? Oh, Sally. Oh, well, I'm in bed. With Sid. No, Sid.
Tell her we're married.
You know, Sid, we're married. He's my husband.
I better be.
How's your baby? Has it got any teeth yet?
Oh, blimey, any teeth after 3 years.
Oh, good. You are up early, aren't you, Sally? Oh, you're in bed as well. With Roger. She's in bed with Roger.
Ask her if they're married.
Pardon? What? Oh, yes, we'd love to, yes. Well, it would be very nice for us all to get together, yes.
What? All in one bed?
No, she wants us to spend Christmas with them. Well, no, Sally, I'm not really sure yet. You see, well, I know I haven't seen you for 3 years, but it's been such shocking weather, hasn't it?
Shocking weather, she says.
All right, love, I'll let you know. Bye-bye.
What has the weather got to do with not seeing her for 3 years?
Well, I had to say something, didn't I?
And what about Christmas? I thought we were going to your mother's.
Well, I didn't want to refuse outright. I'll phone her.
You said she didn't have a phone.
Oh, no, oh, dear.
Oh, I'll go make a cup of tea.
Now, don't forget to bring the Sunday paper with my cup of tea, dear.
well, just take Dora her tea. Oh, yes, mustn't forget the newspaper. Oh, no, the blooming thing's stuck in the letterbox again. I'll have to go outside and pull it and I'll tear it. Come on, out you come. Blimey. I've locked myself out. Dora! Dora! Come on, let me in. She's only better through the letterbox. Dora, I'm locked out. Dora! Hurry up, I feel a right Charlie standing out here in my pyjamas. Dora!
Okay. Morning, sir.
Morning.
Well, I know I'm a bit late with the milk, but you're the first customer who's met me on the doorstep in his pyjamas with a cup of tea at the ready.
I am not begging for milk, I'm locked out.
Oh, well, with the wife, eh?
No, she's asleep.
Pretending, you mean. Give her a shout.
Listen, mate, when my wife goes off to sleep again, she needs a depth charge to wake her. I'll find a way in.
The bathroom window should be open.
How do you know?
They all are around here, sir. I've seen the little brushes hanging out.
Well, we happen to use... What's it got to do with you, what we use? Wait a minute. That drain pipe up there, that goes near the bedroom window. Perhaps I can climb up that.
Be a bit of a tight squeeze, sir.
Up the outside of it, you twit.
You'd be safer knocking on your bedroom window from the house next door.
That's it. That's it. What a clever boy from Mrs. Harris's bedroom window.
Are you friendly with the lady?
Friendly? I even pay her insurance. What's this? Mrs. Harris!
Oh, he said he would and he's done it. He's brought me a cup of tea in his pyjamas.
I can see she likes you, sir.
Right, that was a mistake. Mrs. Harris, open up. Come on, I only want to come up to your front bedroom.
Go away! Go away!
What's the matter with a stupid woman? I'm only asking a simple favour.
Perhaps the request's a bit dubious, sir. See you now you're dressed in your pyjamas.
Eh? Oh, blimey, I forgot about them. Mrs. Harris, you got the wrong idea. Let me explain.
He's locked out, Mrs. Harris.
And he's staying locked out.
He's locked out of his own house.
Serve him right. I'd lock my hubby out if he started that game and all.
Mrs. Harris, my wife did not lock me out. Can I talk to Mr. Harris? He'll understand, I hope.
He's out with the dog, and until he gets back, I'll open this door to no man.
Mrs. Harris, let me tell you, you're never likely to be in any danger from me.
What's going on down there?
Does your husband wear red and white striped pyjamas, missus?
Yes, why?
He's trying to get into the next door lady's bedroom.
Oh, is he? Keep him there. I'll soon settle him.
Dora! What did you tell her that for?
Well, you were trying to get in next door, sir.
Now, what are you...
Just wait until I get my hands on you.
Now, hold on. Wait, Dora, hang on a minute. I was locked out and you were asleep.
That's right. He wanted to go next door and knock on your window.
But Sid, how on earth did you manage to lock yourself out in your pyjamas?
Dead easy. Look, just come out here a minute. Look, the newspaper was in the letterbox. Jammed. I give it a tug like this.
Oh.
Blimey.
Oh, no, you've locked me out in my nightie.
I'm sorry, darling. I'm sorry.
Do something. I can't stand here like this.
Try Mrs. Harris. She might help.
But don't tell her you know this gentleman here.
He's my husband.
Then keep it dark until she opens the door.
Who is it?
It's me, Mrs. Harris. I'm locked out in my nightie.
The brute. I'll protect you from him. Quick, come in, dear.
Mrs. Harris, look. Well, what about that?
Well, if you want my advice, sir...
I don't. Up it. Mrs. Harris.
Go away.
Dora, what's going on? What are you doing?
Having my cup of tea, dear. You'd better wait out there and explain everything to Mr. Harris.
I can't wait. Me in my pyjamas and him in his apron. Oh, well. Better go make myself cosy in the coal shed.
Oh, bless you.
And bless you. And Mrs. Harris and everybody else who ought to give me this sticking cold. What did the doctor say?
He says you can get up tomorrow. Here, come on, take your tonic, dear.
No, all right.
Oh, wasn't it nice? Wasn't it nice?
Nice? It tasted like air lotion.
Oh, Then this other bottle must be the tonic.
What was it I just drank?
That was hair lotion. Well, no, you see, the labels fell off the bottles, and that was the only way I could find out which was which.
Oh, that's great, Alice. Here I am at death's door, and you're feeding me hair lotion? Hey, wait a minute. Tomorrow's Christmas Day, isn't it?
That's right. I've already phoned Mother to say you won't be fit to travel to Manchester.
What a shame. Oh, your mother will be disappointed. Still, Cousin Joe will be glad to see us.
No, he won't, no. I phoned him, too. He said you'd better stay away because you'll still be infectious.
Infectious? I haven't got the plague. Stowey, we had 14 invitations and we'd have to spend Christmas on our own. Just you and me looking at each other.
Oh, what a horrible thought.
How dare you?
No, not you, dear. No, I just had a horrible thought about the food. I haven't got anything in. We won't have anything to eat.
Well, What?
Oh, never mind, dear. We've got each other.
I know, but we can't eat each other. Come in.
It's only me, Mr. Edge.
Get out. You wouldn't let me in your bedroom.
Sid, behave yourself.
Look, I just called in to say how sorry I am to hear you was indisposed. It's a great tragedy at Christmas.
And here's another tragedy. We've nowhere to go and there's not a bite to eat in the house.
Oh, then it's worked out beautifully, hasn't it? Now you can come and spend Christmas with me and my hubby.
Oh, no, isn't that nice?
Sensational. Dora, go and get me my apron.
That was Dora Bryan and Sidney James in a comedy called Sid and Dora. Also taking part were Pat Coombs and Derek Lanyon. The music was supplied by Jack Emblow, and the script was written by Eddie Maguire. Sid and Dora was produced by John Brown.
And last, but not least, is a 1965 show called Marriage Lines.
In 1961, long before The Good Life and Fawlty Towers, the TV sitcom Marriage Lines gave a significant boost to the careers of Richard Briers and Prunella Scales. It was on our screens for 5 years, and also on the wireless from 1965 to 67. We're about to hear the first ever radio episode from May 1965, in which the young, newly married couple, Kate and George Starling, returned to their first home together. This one's been painstakingly restored, which explains the variety of audio quality, but you'll soon get used to that. Right, here comes the glitzy 1960s theme tune. Marriage Lines. A series based on the mutual love and mistrust of two newlyweds, with Richard Briers as George Starling and Prunella Scales as his wife, Kate.
Whenever I thought about getting married, before I was, if you understand me, I always visualized myself carrying my bride over the threshold. Or even when I was very young, I used to imagine myself doing it, you know, with whatever small girl I had a crush on at the time. So when I finally walked down the aisle with Kate, well, that was one of the things I was looking forward to. We went to Paris for our honeymoon, and I sort of tried it when we went into our hotel room, but, well, it had been a long day, so the threshold had to wait till we got home. Mind you, the entrance hall of a block of furnished flats in Earl's Court isn't the most romantic place in the world at 3 o'clock in the morning. But there was a fairly swinging party going on in the flat next to ours, which cheered things up a bit. Not to mention the sight of our very own front door. Darling, Kate. Don't lean against me, darling. Oh, we're here.
Sorry, I dropped off in the taxi.
Yeah, so did I. And on the bus back from the airport.
Me too.
And the steward had to wake me up when we landed. What a night. We've both been woken up 3 times by 3 different men in peak caps.
Never mind, you'll wake me up tomorrow.
Today?
Today. You'll wake me up in the morning, won't you?
What?
What?
Well, I thought you got up first.
Why?
Well, to get breakfast.
No, I get breakfast while you're shaving.
Oh.
That's after the cup of tea.
Who makes that?
Well, we'll argue about that tomorrow.
Today, darling.
And in the morning. Do open the door, darling.
Yeah, I'm just looking for the key. Oh, well, this is the beginning. You know that, don't you?
What?
Oh, when we open our front door, it's the beginning of the marriage.
What about the last fortnight?
Oh, the honeymoon doesn't. Darling, the honeymoon doesn't count.
Doesn't it?
Oh, wonderful, darling. I mean, the last 2 weeks were the best I've ever had, but, well, it wasn't like being married.
Well, it certainly wasn't much like being single.
Oh, no, but it's a sort of holiday, isn't it, before you get down to the hard work?
Is it?
Yes.
We better not open that door, then. Let's stay on honeymoon.
Yes, well, I'm rather afraid you may have a point there, darling. I can't find the key.
George.
Well, I mean, I haven't found it yet. I'll have a look in my case. It's probably in my other trousers. Don't worry, darling. I'll be carrying you over the threshold any minute now.
You won't.
Why? I don't think I've got the strength.
Well, you hadn't when we got to Paris.
It's all right.
I've still got the bruise, look.
Yeah, all right, darling.
You lay where you fell. And I looked down at you sleeping there on the floor, and do you know what I thought?
What?
I thought, I wonder if he's dreaming of me or Jackie.
Jackie, look, darling, please, give my past a chance to get in the past. What a time to think of her.
Well, there wasn't much else to do, darling.
Kate, I admit I've had too much champagne. No, don't, darling, please don't. Will you please change the subject?
No, I was thinking about the next morning. The chambermaid knocked on the door and you jumped out of my bed and sprinted back to yours. She could have seen we were married, darling. There was half a ton of confetti on the floor.
Yeah, that reminds me. I'm going to tackle old Miles about that in the office. I bet it was him who stuffed it in my case.
Well, you picked him for your best man. Do you remember trying to throw the confetti out of the window?
Yeah, and every pigeon in Paris flying down to have a quick nosh.
Oh, it was lovely, wasn't it?
Yes. Darling, can I have the key of your case?
What?
Well, the front door key might be in there. Oh, thanks.
Why should it be? George, you haven't lost it.
No, honestly, no, I haven't. No.
Good night, George!
What?
Stop waving my nightie. There are people coming.
The key's not there.
Well, where is it?
I don't know.
You've lost it. Oh, George!
No, it's not necessarily lost, darling. I mean, I didn't need it in Paris, did I? I mean, I might even have taken it with me, so it's quite likely it's just...
In the flat?
Yes.
Probably lying on our bed.
Lucky key.
It's not a joke, George.
Sorry, darling.
Well, what are you going to do about it?
Well, I'm just thinking, I suppose I couldn't pick the lock, could I? Let's see, now, they always do it with a hairpin in books. Have you got one?
No.
Oh, well, have you got anything like one?
Plastic roller.
What? No, I don't think I've ever read about it being done with a plastic roller. How about a nail file?
Orange stick?
Oh, doubt it.
Well, there's no need to look like that, George. The average bride returning from honeymoon does not have her handbag stuffed with jimmies.
Yeah, well, give me the orange stick. I'll try that. Thanks.
Good night, darling.
Good night.
I will be soon, didn't you? But
I don't think this is going to be much use, darling. No, there you are. You see, it's broken.
Thank you. Now I can't even pass the night doing my nails.
Well, from the funny look that couple gave me picking the lock, I reckon we might pass the night in a police cell. Sorry, darling. Well, look, I think we'll have to face up to it. We can't get in.
All right, George, I'll face up to that. Have you any other suggestions?
Well, we better try stay with someone. My parents are no good, you see. Putney's a bit far out. Do you think your mother could put us up?
I'll ring Aberdeen and ask her, shall I?
Oh. Of course, she's away, isn't she? OK, well, we'll have to take a taxi to Putney.
It'll cost the earth.
But it can't be helped. I'll give them a ring. There's a call box down the road. Just make sure I've got enough pennies. Darling?
How many pennies, George?
No, not pennies, darling. The taxi fare to Putney.
Don't say you haven't got enough.
2 and a penny and 20 francs.
Splendid. Now all we have to do is find a French taxi.
Well, how much have you got?
10 pence.
Oh, well, Putney's out then.
Yes, George, I had already faced up to that.
Yes. Yeah, I know that we can stay with old Miles. He owes me something for filling my case with confetti. Look, will you stay here with our things while I pop off and ring him?
Well, I'm not too keen.
Why?
There's drunken people lurching out of that flat down there.
Well, you could scream. I'll leave the phone box door open.
No, don't be silly, George. I mean, what are they going to think, me standing outside a door with 2 cases at 3 o'clock in the morning?
Well, they'll know it isn't a one-night stand.
George!
Sorry, darling.
Look, this cupboard under the stairs is open. You can put the cases in there.
Oh, fine. Good idea. All right, can you hand me the cases, darling?
All right, here you are.
Right. Oh. Right.
Ooh, How about my eyebrow pencil?
What about it?
Well, for picking the lock.
Oh, the lock. Ah, fine. Yeah, well, I'll have one last go. Oh.
George.
Don't jog me, darling.
There's a policeman.
Yeah, well, what about it? We know the time, don't we?
Good evening. Can I help you?
Well, not unless you happen to use hairpins.
Is this your flat, sir?
Yes, we've lost the key.
I see, sir.
Well, I mean, we wouldn't be standing out here if we got it, would we?
A young couple who recently left another flat in this building reported to me that someone was trying to force a lock.
Did they? That's funny. I said they might, didn't I?
And it was my duty to investigate, sir.
Yes, well, jolly good. I expect you'll get your own television series with this. But you see, it's all right, Constable. It's all right, because it's our flat, you see. We've just come back from Paris. Now, if you could do anything about helping us get in, that'd be much more helpful.
Where is your luggage, sir?
Luggage?
You say you've just returned from Paris. Where is your luggage?
Look, you don't really think...
George!
All right, it's in the cupboard under the stairs. Now, you can go off and catch someone who's really breaking the law, can't you?
In the cupboard, sir?
Yes, I put it there while I went off to make a phone call.
But you weren't making a phone call, sir. You were tampering with this lock.
Well, good grief, look at the cupboard. No, well, the door seems to have jammed.
Or it's locked, sir.
Look, how could it be locked? I put my cases in that cupboard a moment ago.
In there?
In there.
Can you prove you live here, sir?
Of course I can prove it. I've got letters and passports and... They're in there.
In there? Yes, well, perhaps you've been known to your neighbours, sir.
No, we haven't met them yet.
Are you on the phone, sir?
Yes.
Can you remember the number?
Well, of course I can. It's Frobisher 2029. Why?
Well, I can go to the call box and dial the number and come back here and hear it ringing, can't I, sir?
And what will that prove? Look, if we were breaking in, we might know the number. Probably rung them ourselves to make sure no one was there.
Yes, of course. Thank you for pointing that out to me, sir.
George!
What? No, listen. You go and ring Frobisher 2029.
I'm sorry, madam. We've had a number of cases around here. Young people getting into their friends' flats while they're away, throwing parties, creating extensive damage and nuisance. Well, I'm sure that you and your husband are quite above board, but if you can't obtain entry anyway, there's not much point staying, is there? My advice is that you go along to the police station.
What, and go through another inquisition?
Come along, George.
Yeah, but he's as good as call me a cracksman. I've a good mind to report him for slander.
You're all right then, sir. You can do that at the police station, too.
Come on, George. We'll phone Miles.
Thank you, madam. Good night, sir.
Well, it's more than I wish you. I hope it pours with rain and your cape leaks. I'll be in a nice, cosy bed in about half an hour, mate. I'll think of you, hiding in a doorway and snatching a crafty smoke.
George, please, will you come and phone?
Ah, thank heaven.
What?
I thought it might have been one of those awful threepenny bit boxes.
All right, we've had a stroke of luck. Now, let's just hope you know Miles's number.
I've got it all down in my address book.
You're sure that's not in the cupboard?
Oh, blimey. No, here it is. No, it's all right. I can do some things, right, darling?
Yes, all right. We'll ring him.
That's a fine start to the marriage, this, isn't it?
You said it didn't start till we opened the door.
Oh, no. We haven't done that yet, have we? Well, I mean, we won't count this bit, eh?
No, all right.
We're still on honeymoon.
Yes.
We must recommend this call box to any of our friends who get married. First time you've laughed for hours.
Well, there haven't been that much to laugh at.
No. Give us a kiss.
George.
Why not?
That policeman's just passing the box.
Well, for all the more reason. Look at him. Can you see him? Just look at him. I bet he had to struggle with himself not to arrest us for indecency. Disgraceful, giving a uniform to a chap like that. He was younger than me, He couldn't have been more than about 15.
Hello?
Who's that?
What?
Look, I'm terribly sorry to disturb you. Is Miles there?
Who?
Miles Coldray.
Certainly not. I know a Miles Coldray.
Do you? Well, perhaps I rang the number next to Miles in my book.
Is that George?
Yes. Who's that?
Who do you think?
Jackie!
Jackie?
George, you rang me on purpose. Oh, Kate's left you, I suppose.
What would you mean? Of course she hasn't left me. She's standing right beside me.
And she's putting the phone down.
Sorry, Jackie. Sorry, darling.
It's apology night, isn't it?
Yes, I'm sorry, darling. But you see, look, her number was right next to Miles in the book. Have you any more pennies?
No.
Oh. Well, I wonder what happened to that young copper. He must have had fortunes. He was going to ring our number, wasn't
Before you stopped him?
Yes, I know. I'm sorry, Yeah, I know. What am I... We can stay at Walmsley's.
What?
Walmsley's Hotel. It's right across the road. Look, you can see it from here. Look, that's it, see? Well, it's a bit seedy, but...
They advertise, do they? Bed and breakfast, 20 francs.
But no, but I'll go and cash a cheque in the morning. Honestly, it'll be all right. I can always leave you behind the security. Well, come on, darling. We'll go across and book a room. Oh, well, no one about. Better give them a tinkle. It's funny, putting up right opposite our own flat. If we get a front room, we'll probably be able to see our own bed. Sorry, darling. Oh, here's the bloke. Good evening. Have you got a...
Good morning.
What? Oh, yes, good morning. We need a double room rather urgently.
Hey.
I mean, look, it's very late and we're rather tired. Have you such a thing?
A double room?
Yes.
Where's your luggage?
Oh, blimey, look. Why is everyone so interested in our luggage tonight? I mean, I expected it from the customs men, but a policeman and a night porter.
Where is it?
In a cupboard under the stairs. We live across the road. We're locked out, you... Look, have you a double room? That's all we want.
Yes, I'm sure you do. Well, it may sound old-fashioned in this day and age, but Walmsley's is a respectable hotel.
So are we. I mean, we're just back from our honeymoon. Show him your ring, darling.
No double rooms, sorry. 2 singles, one on the 3rd floor, the other in the annex. All I can offer. Sorry.
Oh, well, I don't suppose it matters, darling, does it? I mean, it's very late.
It may not matter to you that your word's being doubted for the second time in 10 minutes, but it certainly matters to me, and I am not going to show my marriage lines just to get a bed for the night.
Well, you couldn't show them, darling. They're in that cupboard under the... Darling? Darling? Oh, she's a bit distraught. We can't get into our... You couldn't change a florin, could you?
No, good morning.
Good morning. Honestly, extraordinary minds people have, don't they? I mean, if we'd been what he thought we were, well, the night's half gone. I mean... Well, we'd have started earlier, wouldn't we? Well, wouldn't we? I mean, if we'd been what he thought we were. I'll tell you what, look, let's go to the old coffee store. We can get change there and ring Miles and have a hot drink at the same time. That's our trouble, you know, that we haven't eaten anything since Paris. Darling? Darling? Wait, don't walk off when I'm talking, darling.
Thanks, Alf. See you tomorrow.
Righto, Doris. Now, straight to bed, mind.
Oh, I don't know. It's a nice night. I might stroll around a bit more. Have a chat with somebody nice.
And who do you think you're going to meet at 3:30 in the morning?
Oh, you'd be surprised, Alf. 3:30 is the time when husbands come home late and their wives tell them off. You can hear front doors slamming all over London, and everyone's a man dying for someone to chat to.
Well, good luck to you. I'll be closing up soon.
There's a couple more customers coming. Good night, Alf.
Hi, Doris.
Oh, the last time we ate anything in the open air was 2 days ago on the left bank. Do you remember, darling? We had artichokes and mussel soup and fillet steak in brandy.
Yes, well, I've only got cheese rolls and a coconut cake.
Oh, well, we better eat something, darling. All Miles ever has in his fridge are ice cubes. 2 cheese rolls, please, and tea or coffee, darling?
I don't mind.
Well, I don't mind either. You choose.
Tea.
Tea. Jolly good idea. Yep, my word, it is. Yeah, we haven't had a decent cup of that for a fortnight, have we? 2 teas, please.
There's only coffee.
Oh, will coffee be all right, darling? 2 coffees, please.
Right.
Come on, Kate. Cheer up. I expect we'll laugh about this one day, locking ourselves out on our first night home. Well, perhaps we won't laugh, but we'll have a chuckle. One day. Yeah, honestly, darling, I've heard people say it. In the early days of marriage, you keep flying off the handle because deep down you're worried that you might have made a big mistake getting hitched. Well, I don't think we made a big mistake, darling. I mean, I don't think you have. I mean, I haven't.
Do you want all the counter?
What?
Harold, there's no need to talk like that.
Sorry.
It's quite all right, and I'd like to apologise for my husband's rudeness.
2 coffees.
Oh, for a minute, I've only got 2 pairs of hands.
What I mean is, darling, tonight won't seem half so bad when we look back on it, won't it?
We'd have caught that late bus, Gladys, if you hadn't go back for your handbag.
Shut it, Harold.
No, I mean, when we've got used to it, it's just the early days can be a bit tricky sometimes.
We've lost more buses through your ruddy handbag.
Shut it, Harold.
Here's the coffee, darling.
You even left it behind at the registry office and we had to go back for it after the reception.
Will you shut it, Harold?
And the cheese rolls, they look good, don't they, darling? Well, we'll get this done and then give old Miles a tinkle. You see, everything will be all right in the morning.
Will you pass the sugar, please?
And don't come down expecting breakfast tomorrow, that's all.
Breakfast? Slice of burnt bread and a pot of warm water. It's never the big things that kill a marriage, Gladys. It's the little things.
Yes, little things in tight slacks like Elsie Parrott.
Oh, darling, I forgot to ask the man for change for the phone.
No, it isn't. It's the little drip that wears it away.
Listen to who's talking about little drips.
Then what's up?
Excuse me, I'm sorry, I didn't ask you. Could I possibly have 4 pennies in the change, please?
What change?
What?
2 coffees, 2 rolls, 2 bob. That's what you give me, ain't it?
Oh, yes, but... Oh, look, I've got to have some change. Look, I won't have the roll.
Look, chum, I don't hand out food on Afro.
Oh, no, but darling, how much have you left? I'm down to 20 francs.
Here you are.
Oh, thanks, darling. 6 and a penny. Fine. I'll pay you back. Excuse me, I've got some money now. I wonder if you could give me coppers for the phone.
Sorry.
I only want 6.
So did 500,000 others tonight.
No, but look, 3 and a threepenny bit would do. I've got a penny.
Sorry.
Oh, dear.
I must have been balmy. They all said you and me would be the kiss of death.
Well, I wish you'd listen to them.
Excuse me, sorry. I want some change.
Well, so do we, mate. A lot of it. Then we could afford a cab home.
Oh. Look, darling, there's a woman over there. I'll ask her. Sharp a minute. Excuse me.
Hello, dear.
Sorry to bother you.
Oh, don't be sorry, dear. It's no bother.
What?
You're not the first strange man who's spoken to me.
What? Oh! No, could you change 6pence? I want a phone.
What, this time of night?
Yes, I want to find somewhere to stay.
Oh, really?
What? No, I know somewhere. I just need to change.
Oh, well, just a minute. I'll have a look. No, I'm sorry. You see, I don't take many pennies.
Oh, right. Thanks.
Oh, no, wait a minute. Hang on. Yes, I've got 3, 4. So if you give me your 6pence, you'll be down 2pence, but it's worth that, isn't it, to get a bed for the night?
Yes.
It's often more expensive than that.
Yes. Thank you.
George, what are you doing?
What? Oh, I've got change, darling. Now you go back and finish your...
Oh, I am sorry. I didn't know you were spoken for.
Oh.
Well, good night.
Good night. Very kind woman. So you go back and finish your tea, coffee, and I'll ring Mark.
Did you taste it?
What, the tea? A coffee? Wasn't too good. Oh, sorry, darling.
George, please stop apologising and let...
Yes, all right. I'll get straight on to Miles. Never been in so many telephone boxes in one night. Now then, right number this time. See, he's not going to be too pleased, old Miles, is he? Still, he was my best man. Now's his chance to live up to the honour. Ringing now, nicely, lovely. I bet he's just heaving himself out of bed, groaning and cursing.
Or pulling a blanket over his head.
Oh, no, darling, not Miles. He always answers the phone in case it's a girlfriend.
At 4 o'clock in the morning?
Oh, yeah, at 4 o'clock in the morning. It could only be a girlfriend, and a fairly keen one, too.
Keen one?
What? Well, no reply. He must be out. Oh, dear. Well, still, we've got the money now. We'll just ring round till someone does answer, eh? Now, where's that book?
Try not to ring Jackie again.
Oh, good Lord, darling, I've made enough mistakes tonight. You don't think I'm going to make any...
What's the matter, George?
I didn't get my pennies back.
What?
Well, look, the cup's empty. Now, look, this isn't my fault, darling. I mean, you saw me. I pressed button... I pressed button A. But I had my finger on it all ready to speak to Miles, and I'm sorry, darling.
I thought you weren't going to make any more mistakes tonight.
Yeah, the party, back at our place next door. They lend us 4pence, wouldn't they? They might even lend us their phone. You see, I do have some good ideas sometimes. Another thing I've just thought, darling, them being new neighbours, this will sort of break the ice, won't it? Hope they hear that. Yes, I haven't seen him yet, but I caught a glimpse of her once. I must say, I thought she looked quite a But it'll be interesting to meet him, though, won't it, darling?
Blimey, you've left it a bit late, haven't you?
What?
Well, never mind. If you brought a bottle, you're welcome. Only for heaven's sake, hide it. There's a terrible shortage in there.
No. We just want some pennies for the phone. We're locked out of our flat.
Are you the new neighbours?
Yes.
Come in.
No, honestly, thanks. We just...
Darling, new neighbours.
Oh, really? Did you bring a bottle?
No, they're locked out, darling. They're after pennies for the phone. I let them use ours, but you can't hear yourselves thinking there. Noisy devils. Anybody got 4 pennies? I'll give you 10 bob if you can buy me a drink. Well, I'll rustle up some money. Have a quick talk first. Darling, grab that secret.
All right, darling.
That's very kind of you.
Oh, we had the devil's own job finding a new hiding place for liquor. Most of the people here, you all are old ones.
Darling, would you like a quick nip?
No, thank you. All I want to do is to get to bed.
I say, a new bird. May I have this done?
George!
That's my wife. That's my wife.
George, help!
She'll be all right with Ronnie.
What?
And she looks as though it'll turn around the floor might cheer her up.
Here we are. Now, will whiskey be all right?
Good place to hide it, eh?
They all think it's terribly romantic having the place lit by candles in bottles.
No one ever thinks of putting the candle out and then just pouring.
And I brought you a glass.
You've got a bit of lipstick on it. You don't mind, do you?
We'll stand here and shield.
Oh, good Lord, yes. Anybody saw that whiskey, you'd be trampled underfoot.
And don't worry about that white bit floating on the top. It's only candle grease.
Now, get it down, you old man. These people have got noses like gun dogs.
Yes, look, thank you very much, but I've got to fix up somewhere to stay.
I'm a drunken fool.
I know, darling. What made you think so?
Well, they can stay here. The party can't last long without any fuel. You don't mind dossing down on the main room, do you?
That's extremely kind of you. Kate will be pleased.
It'll mean the floor, I'm afraid. Ronnie's wife's on the sofa.
What?
She's been there all night.
And John and Beryl have bagged the armchairs.
Well, no, no. In that case, I don't think...
Here's your wife, old man.
Oh, hello, darling. Did you enjoy your dance?
Of course she didn't. Someone might have told me she was just back from honeymoon.
Is that true, old man?
Yes.
Oh, no wonder you weren't keen on keeping in a dormitory. Good Lord, what a shocking night to be locked out on, eh?
Now, wait a minute. Is the ventilator in your kitchen window still broken?
The ventilator? Yeah, I think so.
Well, isn't that the way Jimmy got in, darling?
Eh? Oh, of course it was. He had your flat last, old man, and he locked himself up one night when he came round here. Wasn't his first wedded night home, of course. But you can get in the same way. Now, what did Jimmy do? Swung himself out of our kitchen window onto a drain pipe, jumped onto the little roof over the rubbish bins, pulled himself up to his kitchen sill, and put his hand through the ventilator.
Did he really?
I say, you got any drink in your flat?
Well, yes, there ought to be some left over from my stag party.
Then I'll be Tarzan.
That's very kind of you,
Good luck, Ronnie. Well, we'd better go along to your flat and wait for him to open the gates of paradise, eh? Come on, then. Shan't be long, darling.
All right, darling. See you later.
All right, darling?
Can't hear Ronnie yet, but he shouldn't be long unless he's fallen into the area and broken his neck. Oh, my name's Peter, by the way, and the old girl's Nora.
Well, I'm George, and the old girl... this is Kate.
Hello? Who's closed the stair cupboard door?
Oh, blimey, I'm afraid I did.
Ah, well, you weren't to know, but it's got a broken catch, you see, that nobody does anything about. You just have to keep it jammed ajar.
Oh, Lord, I'm so sorry. I put our cases in there, you see, while we went...
Oh, it's all right. You just have to catch old Harry. He cleans the stairs. He's the only one who can open it.
Oh, fine. Now, what time can I see him?
Tomorrow morning. No, it's this morning now, isn't it? About 7.
Right, 7.
Ta-da!
Ah, Ronnie's made it.
I've made it all right, but I can't find my reward.
What, with all those bottles to choose from?
Oh, they're all empty. Come and see for yourself.
George, look at the mess.
Yes, well, you see, I didn't have time, you see. I was nearly late at the church.
George, please get rid of these people.
Yes.
Excuse me, please.
Oh, did we say something? Come on, Peter, I'll settle for a coffee now if you won't tell anyone.
But thank you so much, by the way, for getting in.
Oh, thank the demon alcohol. I could never have done it sober.
Don't forget about 7 o'clock.
What?
Old Harry, your cases.
Oh, yes, thanks.
And ask us to flat for me.
Yes.
Good night.
Good night. Can I come in, Kate? Well, we're in. Better late than never. Yes, it's very kind of that chap for getting in. He said he wouldn't have dared do it if he hadn't been drunk. Yes, the other chap was nice, too. Peter. Nice neighbours. We must ask them in for a drink. A cup of coffee sometime. I mean, they were very hospitable. 3 o'clock in the morning, and I had a whiskey and you had a dance. I'm sorry, darling.
Sorry, darling. That's all I've heard all night. Sorry, darling. Why didn't you do something right for a change? Then you wouldn't have to be sorry. It's a fine start, isn't it? Very impressive. You leave the keys in Paris, haven't any money, ring the wrong number, let a porter insult you, let somebody else open your own front door, leave the place like a pigsty. I'd rather have slept in the street than let those people see it like that.
Yes,
Yes, you're sorry, darling. Well, I'm beginning to be sorry, too. Sorry for myself. And sorry I ever let... Oh, you go and open the tin. I don't want anything. You'll probably burn it anyway.
Yes, I probably will. Okay, well, I'll just tidy up in there. You get into bed. Shall I hang your coat up?
Give me my hanky first, please.
Where?
In the pocket.
What, this one? Darling.
What?
I'm not cross or anything, but, I'm afraid you had our keys all the time.
What?
Hey, look, in your coat pocket. Sorry, darling.
Oh, George.
It doesn't matter.
What do you mean it doesn't matter?
Well, as long as we've got them.
I must have picked them up in the hotel.
Well, we're in now.
But I didn't even look in my pocket to check. I was so sure it was your fault. Oh, darling, I'm so sorry.
Yep, now then. I thought that was a word we didn't use.
I do love you, George.
Well, I should hope so. You only had me a fortnight.
And the way I kicked you around tonight.
Well, that's the bride's privilege.
But it wasn't your fault.
No, but you thought it was. That's nearly the same thing.
Oh, don't be kind to me, George.
Well, look, stop crying then. You start me off.
Where's my hanky?
What? Oh, I didn't give it to you, did I? Sorry, darling. I mean, here you are.
Thank you.
That's the idea. Well, you have a good blow. What?
What?
I thought you said something.
No, it was my tummy rumbling.
Oh, poor, I'm so sorry. Of course, I'll get you something to soak up that terrible tea.
Coffee.
Coffee. You wait there.
George?
Only cheese and biscuits, I'm afraid. There's a great chunk of cheddar left over from the stag party. I put it in the fridge. Well, I remember thinking at the time, next time I open this fridge door, we'll be back from Paris and we'll probably be a bit peckish. Mind you, I didn't realise how peckish.
What's the matter?
The cheddar's grown a long green beard. I must have switched the fridge off. Sorry, darling.
In that episode of Marriage Lines were Richard Byers and Prunella Scales as George and Kate Starling. Heather Chasen and Geoffrey Matthews were their neighbours, Nora and Peter. And the various characters they met along the way were played by John Badley, Norma Ronald, Heather Chasen and Philip Gard. Marriage Lines was written by Richard Waring and produced by Charles Maxwell.